Happy 420, happy 420. Welcome to Outlaw Radio. We're going to try to make it do what it do tonight. Welcome to the show. Once again, it's time for Outlaw Radio. Four stand up. What it do? What it do? It's your boy Kevin Barnes with another edition, another episode of Outlaw Radio. Outlaw Radio live on a Monday evening. I am very, very happy to be here, man. Every day above ground is a good one. Like I said, it's 420, man, and depending on where you standing at in life, this might be something that you look forward to every year, something that you recognize. It might be something that you don't. We'll figure it out as we go through this show tonight and talk with the people. We do have a phone line associated with the show. That number is 262-202-5131, 262-202-5131. And we do have a chat room. So there's multiple ways you can get involved with the show. Like I said, I am the militant with a microphone, the mouthpiece of the movement, a.k.a. the Negro Whisperer, also known in some circles as the world-class smartass. What it do? What it do? What it do? Got one of my outlaw partners with me tonight, man, early, ready to get it in. Posted, as I say, posted like a stamp.
That's right.
Mr. E. Jordan, man, the fact checker. What it do, man? How you doing this evening?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm feeling good. A great weekend, got a lot done, got a lot of billing done. So I got finished today actually. So felt good. I was behind. I'm looking at the news. I'm seeing Trump's administration collapse. I am really good, to be honest with you, because it's all coming to an end. And on top of it, we got some good fights coming up over the next few months. Yay.
Okay. And there was some tragedy over the weekend. There was the 8 children murdered in Shreveport, Louisiana. I seen that come across my timeline, and I actually was watching the Star Report on YouTube, and they were discussing that. So I didn't get a whole bunch of details. And once I hear 8 children, I don't really need to hear any more. So I just thought it was it's violence begets violence, as they say in this crazy country. But as far as Trump goes, you said his regime, his administration is collapsing. It just has seemed for a very long time to me that that's ultimately what become of the Trump administration, that it would collapse from within. Just because I think it's so much white insanity involved.
That's a good way to put it.
Like I think the anytime we see these corrupt, kind of slanted, egotistical, maniacal, narcissistic regimes, they always collapse under their own pressure. So, it doesn't surprise me that eventually you'll have people tearing at each other within his administration, and that will ultimately bring it down. So I can't say I'm sad about it. I wish it would hurry up. I think America we need a break so we can move on. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think honestly, America needs to stop, take a deep breath, kind of shake it off a little bit, and then we can move on. So I think we're gonna need some movement on, and not just with our presidential office. A lot of leadership in this country needs to be replaced, especially when we start to talk about political elected officials, from a local perspective, even in our city, where we are in bad need of new leadership and new directions, and it extends to our federal offices as well. So yeah, I think it's about that time for change to come about. Sharita Shaw in the chat room. How you doing, Sharita? She said, "Hey, my outlaw family, what it do? What it do?"
What up?
Appreciate you being here, my sister. She's here early. But yeah, man, it's 420, and if you don't know what 420 is celebrated as a day for, now correct me if I'm wrong, it is celebrated as a day that acknowledges marijuana, or the celebration of marijuana smoking. Okay, some people call it Weed Day.
I'm trying to freaking share the show. Listening to you is so funny because that's exactly what the hell it is.
It's supposed to be a day to celebrate cannabis consumption. And I guess it's supposed to start around 4:20 p.m., acknowledging April 20th of each day, of each year. I'm sorry. Now, like weed is one of those things where it's always been very controversial because it is, for some people, they consider it a drug, a gateway drug. When we say
Yeah,
gateway drug, people say that it leads you to the usage of other controlled substances. And everybody out there, y'all can tune in and tell me how y'all feel about 420. I welcome your opinions. This is Sarita. She said she's talking about our conversation. She's kind of going along with that, saying the old people need to be replaced. The world is very different.
yeah, it
And
is.
she said, "Get high." Well, because I wanted to talk about marijuana because I know that marijuana can be what's considered a gateway drug just as easily as alcohol can be,
Yes.
because what it does is it kind of loosens you up. It kind of eases your inhibitions, right? My own personal story of marijuana goes all the way back to my early teenage years. And this is predating when from a hip hop perspective, a lot of people and a lot of hip hop fans became enthralled with marijuana after the Chronic. If you know rap, you know the Chronic was Dr. Dre's classic magnum opus. Some people might refer to it as, and it was all about the celebration of smoking marijuana, the Chronic, which is a high quality, I guess, grade of marijuana in Los Angeles. And I can tell you that I was one who we drank at an early age in my neighborhood. Me and my friends, my cousins, we drank alcohol at an early age, way before we should have. I can always admit that. Um, but along came, this is during, I always say, the crack era, where the availability of a lot of drugs were there, right? Powder cocaine, pills of all kinds. And I was staunch that I would never, ever, ever, ever engage in that because I saw what crack did to the community. But when it came to marijuana, one of my OGs, and ironically his name was Kevin, and he talked me into um hitting a joint. This was like ironic, is crazy because I mean I had a football game, and just after the game's over, I'm kind of wandering through the hood talking to the homies. Shout out to the homie Kobe Lloyd. He's usually in the chat room. Um, but his brother, who I was, he was an OG. I looked up to him. I thought he was a cool cat. He talked me into hitting a joint. We was just hanging out, sipping and partying. And I remember that day as probably some of the most fun I've ever had socially. And pretty soon he had women, like Kevin had women over. Like it just turned into this incredible day. And I remember that everything that day, the music sounded better. We ante up on food. The food tasted better. Everything, the shit that was supposed to be funny was funnier. And one thing that happened to me that had never happened before is I was totally relaxed. And if you know me and you knew me when I was young, you know I was always wound up pretty tight, right? I was totally relaxed. And I made up my mind at that point that I'm gonna do this again, right? And so I, we all became,
You a fool.
my friends, we all became what they refer to as potheads, man. Like for us, we smoke. That's every day we're smoking. That's what it was, and it was just on from there, man. And I just had this, I just had a relationship with it where for me it was just something that calmed me down. I always say this. I think marijuana probably kept me out of prison because, like I said, I was wound so tight, and I had a really really bad temper, and I was a pretty aggressive youth, man. And just once I started to what we call chief, I was relaxed. I was laid back. I didn't want to do nothing but just kick back, smoke, listen to some music, right? And that's all. That became kind of like, or watch a movie, and so that kind of became the deal. Now I never really turned into like I seen some cats start smoking, start reading High Times and wearing, tie-dye clothing, and it never turned into that for me, and it never kept me from accomplishing things. Like, I didn't get to the point where I wasn't getting out of bed, or I wasn't going to school, or I wasn't it didn't do that to me. It just, I coexisted with it. So what people say now is, what's the term they call for it? Functioning. That was a functional weed, right? For years and years, man. And my older brother, man, rest in peace to bear me, he was just in disbelief and always pissed off at me. Like, he couldn't stomach it. Like, what are you doing? Like, yo, what's up with this? Like, I'm his younger brother. So he's looking at me like that, along with some other stuff I was involved in. And he just was like, man, he could never stomach it. He always hated it. He always would threaten me like, yeah, I'm gonna let moms know, like that kind of shit. Like, he wanted to tell moms what I was doing and tell my pops, but my pops soon caught on to me. It didn't take him long. He caught on to me. He's just looking at my car seats. Those burn holes in my car seat. So he just caught on. He caught on quick. But my point in that is, when I turned 18, and I vividly remember I turned 18, and my brother and I, it's like my brother disliked me until I turned 18. Once I turned 18, now when I'm with him, he's saying, man, roll something up. I'm looking at him like, yo, I know you got it. Roll it up. I'm like, all right, man. So we started to kick it together, man. We started to roll up and go to the movies and shit. My brother's the type of dude who's a funny smoker, where he is gonna get high and laugh at shit uncontrollably and rib on shit, rib on people, and it just changed the relationship. So I don't know. That was my personal kind of acquaintance with marijuana. And I never did cocaine, I never did pills, never smoked lace, I never did any other drugs, because I was adamant. I know I got some friends who kind of strayed left of the line a little bit, but I was always adamant. And I always felt like this is bad enough that you do this, right? Like, it was, I remember being young saying, I use drugs, right? Like, I felt bad, right? Like,
He said I used drugs. I felt
I
bad.
use drugs, right? Like, so I would never,
So fucking funny.
I would never do nothing else, man. But man, oh man, one last note. I remember before I went to college, I remember before my freshman year, that summer, hanging with the homies, we in the hood. It's probably what I always consider the greatest summer ever, was the summer of 1994. I
Mm.
think I had more fun in the summer of 1994. It was just such a dope ass summer. And just in our neighborhood, just, man, the way we kicked it was just unbelievable. You know, even streetwise, just getting money and doing stuff like that. So I remember thinking, I'm about to go to school. I'm about to be locked up. I'm about to be studying with books and shit all the time. It's going to be way out in North Dakota. This is going to be whack. And once I got to within 2 hours of me hitting the campus, I was with a group of my teammates, and as soon as we met, come on, man, roll with us. We went to some female's house, and it was on from there. And I can honestly say, I smoked more weed during my 4 or 5 years in college than I ever did on the streets. Ever. It was like, and if you went to college in the 90s, I'm pretty sure you kind of can feel me.
Smoke
It was
good.
all we did, man. Like, just so much. That and video games, man. Like, it was just constantly boom, 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 boom. Like, and I'm like, man, I think back, and I'm so grateful to God that I never caught a case, never really got caught up. Thank God I never got hit with a drug test. Oh my God, I would have failed.
Carter drugs.
No, I was way in North Dakota. Wasn't no Carter. I'd have been fucked. I mean, I took.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot you was going, because we used to just go to Carter drugs, get that purple drink, and then drink that.
Yeah,
Man, that shit actually, I passed like 3 drug tests. Man,
yeah,
rest in peace to Mr. Carter.
I
He
got
was
a,
the man.
allegedly I got a lot of jobs and passed a lot of drug tests when I got home with Mr. Carter's elixirs. It was the stuff. It was called the extra stuff, and it was was
Yes,
a
he was
miracle.
brilliant, Kev. Like, I don't think people realize, like, somebody needed to do a movie on him. He was a brilliant dude. Started that drugstore before there were Walgreens, obviously, in Milwaukee. And he was approachable. He would talk to you. He'd tell you anything. I love that dude, man.
He was super dope. I remember because I got that recommendation from a cousin because I was up for a
Me too.
job and they said, "Yo, you got 6 days. You know, you got to take this drug test." And I'm like, because I needed this job, right? I needed this
Yeah,
break.
me too.
And so my brother said, "Well, let's call Cuzzo because he's been on papers and this kind of thing." And so he said, "Go to Carter Drugs and just tell him you need a detoxifier." And
Yep.
so I went in there, right, and I'm trying to speak in codes and whatnot, and he got real with me real quick, like, when is your test?
He said that to me too.
6 days.
You just jogged my memory. That's exactly what he said to me because I was trying to do that too. He's like, "When is your test, son?"
He said, now, number one thing is you stop doing whatever you're doing. I said, yeah. No, I'm done. He said, here. And then I remember also getting to the counter and the shit was $50. Blew my mind. I said, what?
Yeah.
For one bottle of juice, it was $49.95. I remember that
And
very
that
vividly.
shit worked like
It
a
absolutely did.
charm.
It absolutely did. But he also told me, he said, now listen, you got to follow these directions on this label. You got to follow them. Follow them
Yeah,
to the T, or it's not gonna work.
that's what he told me
And,
too.
okay, and I did, and man, your boy got to do. Whoo, Lord, you talking about somebody whose nerves was fried by the time listen.
Dog, mine was in a warehouse, Kev. My shit was in a warehouse where they gave you a real drug test, and I beat that test with that shit from Carter Drugs.
I had
That's
to
why I
go.
say he brilliant, dog. He
Yeah, I
brilliant.
had to
He
go
was
to
brilliant.
what was that, Concentra?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was crazy. And it was funny because they did it for the physical. I did a vision test, and the lady said, "Oh, I think you might need glasses." I said, "No, I don't need no glasses." She said, "Well, you finna work for so and so, and so you finna have great benefits. You might as well get some glasses." I said, "I hope." She looked at me like, "Baby, don't tell me you didn't took this drug test. Don't tell me." I said, "No, I'm good on that. I'm good on that. I just hope everything work out." She was looking at me like, "This nigga."
You couldn't even hide your scaredness.
It was so And my mom was so hype about this shit. She was bragging to all her friends and everything. I'm like, boy, if I fail a drug test, I
That's
am screwed.
embarrassing actually. Like if you lose a job, like potential income, and in our both our families, I don't even got to know your family to know that in our families, that is a complete embarrassment. Seriously, I had a cousin that actually had an opportunity to work at A.O. Smith at the time, and this nigga failed a drug test. My mom and them they talked about his ass for 2 straight summers, bro, until he got his shit together.
Oh,
Seriously.
oh yeah. And I could never get my mom to stop referring to it as dope. No matter how hard I try. She said, oh, you
Oh
smoke
yeah.
dope?
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard you smoke that dope. I used to be like, Mom, I don't smoke dope.
No, I don't smoke dope, mom. Dope is different now. That's cocaine, crack.
Right. Well, they called it dope, man.
Yeah, they did.
He said, you inherit that from your daddy because that's all he did was smoke dope. That's it. He smoked more dope. Smoked so much dope, he hold a cigarette like this. I'm like, yeah. I was kind on my
He
ass.
smoked so much dope on the cigarette like this.
Yeah, Pops used to get on my ass about that shit. Like, boy, you can't. Who you think you fooling? You know who you talking to? I really didn't. I didn't know. I found out later that at one point that was his thing, right? Like, my pops was 40 years old when I was born. So
Oh,
we
he a
talking
real
about
one. He was smoking plenty of weed. My dad was the same
right.
way. Yeah, he's
So,
smoking
so
plenty
we
of
talking
weed.
about I'm 16, he's 56. So his life experience was 100 times mine. I could never fool him on nothing. He always did. Nah, man, come on.
That's
Just
kind of dope though, because I got a cousin where his dad was like that. His dad was like 40 something when he was born, and as he got older, John. It's funny because Chris is so smart. He like you. He's very very calm and bright and very logical. And he even said it. He attested that to John, his dad. He said, "Dude, if I would have had a dad, he's like, if I wouldn't have had a dad like the one that I had, I would not be the man that I am." He said he loved his father, man. He missed him every day. He still always say that to me.
yeah.
He misses his dad
I wish I
every
had
day.
got more time with him. I wish I'd have got more time with him.
Oh yes.
My pops passed when I was 23.
Oh,
About 2 months before I got out of college. But yeah, he was really, really, really well lived. And so you couldn't I could say one thing and he would decipher it immediately. Like, no, what you really saying is boom, boom, boom. And I'd be sitting there looking stupid. Like, how the fuck does he know? But I guess I
You're
go
right.
through the same thing with my son now, with my son, where, I know what you're saying. I hear you. I know exactly what you're saying, right? Like I get it. So but yeah, let me check the chat room. Dion, I see you. He said fact 420. Rita Shaw said I stopped smoking weed after the chronic. It made me too high. Then the Reggie left. She said the Reggie left. Jeff Crape, what it do, man? How you doing, Jeff? What up, Jeff? He said, what's good, fam? She said she's correcting herself, saying when the Reggie left. Um, Ace Cooley, man, what's happening, man? Ace, what it do, man? He said, what it do, Outlaws? He said, Ian, I just caught your message today. We still got to chop it up.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because he sent me a message, right? And I was at the library with my team or whatever, and he was just talking about like as far as all this geopolitical shit. I'm like, oh bro, we definitely gotta have a conversation. He ain't wrong either. Like how APEC controls every fucking thing. And dude, it's just wild how many of the politicians they actually have in their cabinet and in their pockets. Like it's wild, bro. Like Kev, I swear to you, I just really look at the way our government is set up, and Trump really did one great thing. He showed you how much America is for sale. And it's always been like that, and we've always known that. But just it's so blatantly corrupt now. I love it because he is showing you, like, here you go. This is how things actually are. This is how the sausage is actually made. So don't be mad at motherfuckers when they be saying it. People like you and me and OG, when we talk that shit, don't be mad at us for it because it's true. These motherfuckers don't care about us, which always goes to what you always talk about when you say, okay, which side of the aisle is beneficial to us? Obviously, there hasn't been one. Where's the reparations talk if you're Democrats? That doesn't come up as much as it should. And with the Republicans, what are you guys doing? And the answer is nothing. So yeah, it's just funny that the APEC people control everything. So
yeah, well, if you just not realizing that America is for sale, like sheesh, you're very where have you
naive.
been? All right.
Very naive.
Jeff Crape in the chat room. He's quoting me as a youngster.
Oh,
I'm making VAR, said the freshman, then did that. He's saying because I went to the school. I wanted to ball. I wanted to play football very badly. I couldn't wait. And so they said freshmen don't come until the 25th or whatever, but varsity reports on like the 8th, right?
Yeah.
Down the street from the school. I'm like, I'm not waiting till the 25th. I want to play. So I went up there and I just happened to have a conversation with the head coach. And because I was just kind of sitting around and he's like, yo, what you doing here? And so I told him, he said, well, only varsity's playing right now. Varsity and JV is practicing. So you just got to come back. I said, well, why can't I come practice with them? And he's like, because it's varsity and JV. I was like, so? He's like, so he thought it was funny. He basically walked me over to the team. And you got all these big ass dudes, man. Jeff Crape being one of them. At that point, one of the biggest dudes I'd ever seen in my life. It's like 6'5", 325 pounds, man. Yep. I mean, huge. And the coach is laughing like, yo, this freshman just said he's making VAR. And everybody's laughing like,
And then did that.
He was like, come tomorrow and we'll let you practice with us. And so, the rest is the rest, right? Like I was like, okay, I'll be here.
I was gonna say, speaking of football, which is very interesting that we kind of on this topic. I saw a video and I shared it on my Facebook page where, and this is many years later, obviously, where they showed a lot of defensive players as well as offensive players as well talk about the seeing Barry Sanders in real time. Like Shannon Sharp was talking about that, and it not many athletes literally give me chills just thinking about them. But with Barry Sanders specifically, bro, because we remember the game where the Packers shut him down for -9 yards, and it wasn't his fault, obviously. But the fact that they could put what did they have up to the line? Like 9 people. Like they had 9 up front,
Probably a
bro, just to
9-man
stop him.
box. Probably a
Yeah,
9. Probably 9 in the box.
yeah, they were, and that just shows you how much they had respect for him. And Reggie White and them said after the game, they was like, "Yeah, bro, it's Barry Sanders. What did you expect?" You know what I'm saying? And I think they didn't have Rodney Peete anymore. I think he had moved on or whatever. So my point in bringing that up is he was such an amazing talent. And I know what you did in football, but I gotta ask you because I'm curious now because I know my answer. But who's the greatest running back to you? I know who you got in your lifetime, probably who you seen, but just with everything, things you might have read, you might have a difference of opinion. Who's your greatest running back?
I think the greatest football player of all times was Jim Brown.
Thank
That's
you. Mine
kind of
too.
like
Yep.
my dad. Once again, it goes back to my pops, and if anybody knows my story, one of the ways that I was introduced to football was through my father. My father loved football, right? Like
Mine too.
so, every Sunday we watched football, and he would always talk about two things. He would talk about Jim Brown, and he would talk about the Raiders, and
Yeah.
how much he loved both. And so Jim Brown was his. He said, "Boy, let me tell you about Jim Brown." And so those old NFL films I found when they would come on with I forget the John Facenda,
Yes.
um, and I would watch Jim
From
Brown's highlight.
Wisconsin, by the way.
Um, is he from Wisconsin?
The
I
guy
didn't
that
know.
did NFL films, if I'm not mistaken, those guys I think are from Madison. I'm
Well,
gonna
I
look
know
it
the
up.
Sables, Ed Sable and his son were the actual technical dudes, but Facenda was the orator. He's the one who starts saying the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field.
Oh, no, I'm not sure about him. Sorry, I confused it.
Yeah,
Ed
yeah.
Sable.
So
I'm gonna see where he's from.
so I would watch those films and watch Jim Brown. I do think Barry is right behind him as far as me being able to watch a football game, like seeing in real time. I never seen anybody like Barry Sanders ever, ever, ever. But yeah, I think Jim Brown's probably the greatest football player of all times, and that's from every position. So let me see. This is Sharita Shaw. She's saying that's a nice idea, Ian C. Jordan, about Dr. Carter. I don't remember what you said. So
I said somebody needs to do. They need to do like a mini documentary or a movie on him or something. Just, I mean, not necessarily a full fledged, but he needs to be brought up more because he really did a lot for the community, man. Like in that area, in that neighborhood, he did a lot. He's actually, and he was a very approachable guy. He always pushed you toward the right things. He always told kids to go to school. Like, yeah, I liked him. He hired kids to clean his store. Like, yeah, he was a really good dude, and he really taught a lot of values. You know what I
he's
mean?
a staple, and he
Yeah,
stayed
he
in the
was.
hood. He stayed in the hood because that store was down there in the trenches forever. Like he never
Yeah,
moved.
it was. Yeah, it
He
was.
was down there forever. So I ain't know. I walked in there. It was like shit on the shelves that had to be from the 50s. It was like
Yeah, it
just
was. The expiration was expired. You know what
like
I'm
whoa,
saying?
ice cream cones of 15 cents. Like come on, man. It's like 1999. You know that shit. Come on, man. Like, come on, man.
Oh god.
Dion said weed is dope. Weed is not dope, Dion. We know you don't like marijuana. It's dope. Well, in terms of if you want to say, well, it's a hallucinogenic, I guess you could say that. But when we say dope, we know we talking about dope, man. We talking about cocaine. We talking about
Oh yeah, for
crack,
sure.
man.
I,
So
and I wanted to before you continue, I want to add something because I was looking it up while you were speaking, and to give everybody out there some context to what we talking about with Jim Brown. Because by the way, I always put him on my Packers on my Madden game. He is, to me, he's the greatest football. Him and Deion Sanders are the two greatest football players. You can throw Bo Jackson in there, but this goes to show you how good this man actually was when they only had 12 games, and I think he retired. They got to 14, and that's it. He still holds several NFL records, and the most notably is the 104.3 yards per game. That's never been beaten. Never. And that's just crazy. They said he's also the only player in NFL history to average 100 rushing yards per game for his career.
aside of the sports, I just think Jim Brown's social contributions
Oh, it outweighs
and
his
his
football. Yeah.
outspokenness about being a foundational Black American, especially during those days, was pivotal as well. So yeah, I think it adds to his greatness. Let me finish the chat room.
Yeah, for sure.
A says Barry was embarrassing people. Absolutely he was.
Juking people out there, ACL.
Urban Legend RC, what it do, man? Oh man, it's been a minute. He said Walter Payton. Urban Legend. He said, "What up, guys? Yeah, man, I've been off. It's been cold. It's been cold in Wisconsin. I ain't been on my RC grid for a minute. I shoot guns in the winter. I don't do RC cars in the winter. I do RC in the summer. No, yeah, in the summer I do RC cars. Man, heavily. It's my hobby. But in the wintertime, I'm focused on going to the range, man. Just getting my shoot on. He said Barry and had Walter. If Barry had Walter's line scratching my head, he would have ran for 1,000,000 yards. Yeah, he was on some pretty suck ass Lions teams.
I've never seen offensive lines as bad as the Lions were. No.
Well, they played a run and shoot offense, so it was a different kind of scheme where he didn't have a fullback and wasn't a whole lot of double tight formation. So
just weird. Yeah, they're weird.
A says being a little dude, my guy was Eric Metcalf. I used to like Eric Metcalf.
Yeah, 21.
Eric Metcalf was dope. Well, a lot of people don't know is Eric Metcalf's dad was a hell of a player as well. His dad was something else in the 70s.
Yeah, I heard.
Pretty much the same build, same style, that speed, jukey juke, leave you standing there. Sharita saying do a documentary for the. She said yes, the documentary for Dr. Carter. She said when you call weed dope, you must come from Memphis, or you must be old as hell. Or you're old as hell, right? Like or
you must come from Memphis.
You call it dope, or you call it reefer. Reefer day. They smoking that reefer.
Reefer.
That's what my dad called it. He called it reefer. He didn't say dope. He said reefer. He said, "Hey, boy, you smoking that reefer?" I'm like, "Nah, man, I don't smoke no. Well, look at this car seats, man." I'm oh shit. Urban Legend said, "Bro, Bo was the biggest what if store." Yeah, Bo.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Absolutely. Bo. Hey, man, a lot of records would have failed had that brother not got hurt.
Hey, Gale Sayers is another one who I love. Yeah, Gale Sayers is amazing.
It's a bunch of players to really. I mean, over the years,
too many.
Watch football. It's a lot of players, man. Especially at the running back position that you just love to watch play, man. So
Christian Okoye, it's so many great players that played during that era, man. Kevin Mack,
Mikey, man, what it do, man? Mikey Deacon Davis, he said, "What up, Outlaws? What's happening, family?
What up, dog?
What it do, man? For life, Mike. You already know what it is." Earl Henning, Earl Henning in the chat room. He says, "What it do, my brothers? Fuck Donald Trump and his friends." And Urban Legend said, "Don't sleep on Eric Dickerson." Said Craig Mack. I think
he mean Kevin Mack.
Kevin Mack and Ricky Williams. And Ace says we can't forget Napoleon Kaufman. It's so many, man. It's so many.
God, don't even get me started, dog. It's too many. It's so many great players to put on the shit to have the shield on.
Not just running backs, man. I'm
talking about all players.
Yeah, all positions. Football is a hellified sport, man. It's tough.
It's a tough sport, bro. It just is.
Definitely a tough sport. Probably one of the most demanding. I got Dion in the chat room. Dion, what's going on, man? I'm sorry, he's on the line, not the chat room. What's going on, Dion?
He there too.
I'm chilling, taking it easy. You know how to catch you guys early. You know, for a motherfucker have to get ready, put some Z's in, getting up early and shit. But, yeah, that's about it. Then I just have a problem with people celebrating this 420.
Okay.
I really want to know, like, originally, how did we take Hitler's birthday and turn it into a pot smoking day? I'm just curious about that.
Google it.
You know, that's just like us just taking the day the first slave was captured and said, "Fuck yeah, the day they captured the first slave, and it feels good, and he was captured, and we're coming to America, my ancestors." You know, it just be blown. Like, I just find it's so, I be encapsulated with black people that we find the simplest, minute shit to be in an uproar, to be like, yes, fucking 420, and like, Ain't nobody celebrated Booker T. Washington birthday, Frederick Douglass, Denmark Vesey, David Walker, John Brown, certain slave rebellions. Just nothing compared to us. But we'll sit up here and just promote this like us 420. Yeah, let's fucking high. It just, I'll be so fucking bewildered with that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna sit back and hear your comment real quick.
Well, I think it's one of those things that's a personal thing. I think it's very subjective. And you know, if you don't want to recognize it, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
And if you don't agree with people who smoke marijuana or marijuana culture, it's more than fine. I think anybody who smokes marijuana, if you tell them you don't smoke, they'll say, "Cool, more for me." I don't. You know, it's one less person that you got to pass it to. But I definitely believe it's just like people who get upset about Black History Month, right? Like it's like people who get mad about us celebrating Christmas or Thanksgiving. Like it's always gonna be one person on the sideline saying that's some bullshit. Why they doing that, right?
Hey,
If you
show
want
me a black person who say they celebrating Hitler's birthday.
If you wanted to, first of all, I didn't even know it was Hitler's birthday.
Hey,
so if you
first
want
of
to,
all, right, and that's the point. Hey, look, and that's the point I'm about to make.
If you want to attach that to it, Dion, that's an interesting perspective.
Most black people don't even know it's Hitler's birthday. First of all,
but that's what I'm saying. If you, that's interesting.
My second point is to say that it all started as the time 420.
There's a whole explanation on the internet.
Every day at 420, it started out as every day at 420, people light up. That's how it started. And then it just moved to the day 420. Everybody get high. Everybody smoke on the day 420 because of the time 420. It wasn't never about Hitler's birthday. I got a homie whose birthday is today. So we can't celebrate his birthday because of Hitler.
So the story goes that in Marin County, California,
people go too fucking far sometimes.
In Marin County, California, there was a group of kids who were known as the Waldos, who were, I guess, known pot smokers. So they met up every day at this particular location, like he said, at 420, and they smoked weed. And so I guess that's where the name comes from. But I want back to what I was saying. I think it's one of those things where you have the right to choose whether or not you want to recognize it or celebrate it, or if you think it's something that bad, just like the choice to smoke it. And I don't.
You know what else happened on 420?
Hold on. I'm not one of those people who tries to push any kind of habits off on anyone. Even at the height of my weed smoking, I was never a person who was trying to corrupt people or trying to convert people or saying, "Come on, man, just smoke it, just hit it." Like I never put peer pressure on anyone.
No,
because just like I was allowed to make the choice for myself, I want other people to make the choice for themselves. So if you don't partake and you don't celebrate it, Dion, I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think you have to be careful of not shitting on somebody who happens to say, "No, it's 420. Fuck what you talking about. I'm about to roll up." I just think it's one of those things.
Always, I am. I'm good. Because you know what else happened on 420? The Columbine attacks in 1999. That's why they chose April 20th, because it was Hitler's birthday. So it's just fucking perplexing me about us as black people. Like I said, we might as well celebrate. What was the dude King Leopold's birthday? We might as well just celebrate everybody that did mass bullshit through history and be like, yeah, then we're gonna take it and put our own twist on it and say this
black
is what
people don't give a fuck about Hitler.
And then to say some white kids, that's definitely like, no, the white kids probably met at 420 because they was gonna do a mass attack. That's why the fuck they met on 420.
I didn't say whether or not they was white. I didn't say they were white. I said they were in Marin County, California. And secondly, black people smoke weed every goddamn day. I don't think that you don't see a lot of black people going above and beyond.
Black people don't give a fuck about Hitler.
So I don't know why I don't know. It seemed like you attacking black people.
I don't know why you think black people care about Hitler so much.
Yeah, motherfucker, fool. He said it seems like you're attacking black people.
For 420,
I see it all
right?
over there.
Like, why would you like? Because you know,
I think really, like Dion. I think really that's you see today as, and that's okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? But I just think all the black people that you're talking about, they don't even know it's Hitler's birthday. They don't know shit about Hitler. They don't even give a fuck. Hey, they don't even give a fuck about Hitler. They high.
Do you remember the Columbine attack?
Ain't nobody thinking about that shit today. They high.
Sharita Shaw in the chat room, she said, Dion, this is my daddy's 69th birthday. Look, we love it here, even though I don't smoke no more. Let people, I think she means have their own voices. Earl Henning is in the chat room. Earl says, smoke till the white in your eyes turns red. And Sharita said, we don't give a damn.
She crazy.
Nobody care about Hitler, man. Ain't nobody thinking about Hitler, Dion.
She's like, we don't give a fuck about that nigga Hitler. Fuck that nigga.
See, you know what? This is why we as black people, we just, they don't even take us seriously. You know what I'm saying? Like people, that's why Project 2025 was able to be 50% almost completed. That's why we're not voting, because we allow some stupid shit like this.
You're blaming all this on weed. You blaming all this on black people and weed?
Because I just look at it. I look at it.
You don't like weed smokers anyway.
Minuscule things. We celebrate
weed smokers like Trump supporters.
Have no significance in life. It just don't. And we sit up here. That's just like black people celebrate fucking St. Patrick's Day. I never seen a fucking Irishman celebrate African American history. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, but hold on, Dion. Do you know what the origin of St. Patrick's Day? You know that there's an African Guinea tribe, a pygmy tribe, I should say, not Guinea. There's a pygmies who lived in Scotland and Ireland. There's some black associated with that. Once again, I think you got the right to your own opinion. You could say what you want. It doesn't make it law.
All right, I appreciate you.
But I don't. It's not cool for you to blame black people for like our dysfunction on 420.
They do say also that redhead Irish people
are descendants of African Americans. I wish we could skip 420.
I've heard that,
but it's not particularly just about 420. It's about the distraction. You know what I'm saying? It's distraction. It could be something else that could distract us. We don't even understand that. You know, we had a ceasefire with Strait of Hormuz. Something happened. I think either the United States or Iran kidnapped and took some people hostage. They over there holding them. The people off the ship. You know, it's all type of shit going on. You know what I'm saying?
Why do you think people don't know this stuff? First of all, the show just started. Because you ain't even gave the show a chance to inform people on what's going on. We're gonna talk about. So I don't. And what do it got to do with 420? Like, I feel like it's apples and oranges the comparison that you make.
It's a distraction.
You don't like weed smokers.
Who's distracted? Did somebody not go to feed their kids today, or did somebody not go to work today because it was 420? Like, who's distracted? There's really no celebration for 420.
Nigga, I'm rolling up right now.
Hey, I got a distraction for both of y'all. Do y'all like impersonation?
Do we like who?
Y'all like impersonation?
I can't hear you. Hold on. We clashing. What did you say, Ian?
I said, do y'all like impersonations?
It depends on who it is and how good it is.
Sir, in the spirit of 420, I'm going to do an impersonation right now. Who is this? Who is that?
Is that Black Hitler? I don't know what
that's Hitler. You got it, Kev. I'm going to send you $5 through your Cash App. That's a distraction. I don't know. I don't know if it's that deep, Dion, to be honest. I don't. I think, personally, the 420, as far as crossing, I really do believe. What do y'all think? Isn't that like a coincidence? Not the Columbine. Maybe that's what they were thinking, but the kids in Marina County smoking weed, that literally is a coincidence. There's no way on God's green earth that they thought that. I don't know, man. I think we're going a little too deep with it, man. I mean,
Dion just don't like weed smokers, man. That's all.
I don't smoke weed, but I don't have no problem with motherfuckers that do. Like, I know a lot of women that do.
Dion look at us like we Trump supporters.
I remember we had a conversation about 2 months about this. You probably remember this too, OG. Kev, we were talking about something on the show. Oh, that's right. I was in the fight, Jim. I called the guy that used to call the show all the time, he was talking about something, and marijuana legalization had came up. And that's and Dion actually chimed in there, and I was like, okay, I could tell that he's not a fan of marijuana usage
with
at
that
all.
shit. Hell no, nigga, I don't like that shit. Drop a dime.
Hold on, you said he went to Belly. That's a better impersonation than my Hitler.
Dion gonna drop the dime on us.
Where the banana at when dude?
I'm in the chat room. Sharita says, I just learned today was his birthday. She says, vices, meaning everyone has something they do that other people are opposed to. And she said, just smoke responsibly. If you are of the right age, right? Like for me, it's people do what you do, man. I don't never been the type of person to tell somebody else what the hell to do with their life. Dude, just be ready to deal with whatever comes with it. So if you flunk a drug test, if you smoke religiously and you at work and they say we need you to go to piss and you go piss and you lose your job, deal with it. Don't cry about it. Don't bitch and moan.
Drug test yourself, OG. Go to Concentra.
And I'll do it at the Sherman Phoenix.
Do it at the Sherman Phoenix. You can make yourself some purple drink too to cleanse yourself out.
Shit, I mean,
his last name is Carter too. That actually, that correlates.
Hey, me and Tyson went to Chicago today. We went to the Waking Bakery. They had a party going on in that motherfucker, man. They had the music going. They had a motherfucker on the microphone. Nigga, I want a free THC cupcake and shit. You know, Tyson got a free pack of gummies. They gave us a gift bag with gummies in the bag, a pack of gummies and shit, man. Look,
nigga, you need to live in California and here. Dude, that shit is legal here. Like everywhere I be walking. Like last night, I was just walking around. All you hear is people playing music. They singing. I should have known it was 420 today because I was out last night.
Nobody said nothing about Hitler, did they?
No, they was all talking about weed. And what's funny you said that is they literally was just, man, they was so happy about 420 day, dog. They was out there. It was 11 o'clock at night. Downtown, they fucking partying, dog. It was artists there and everything. I'm like, damn. Tucson,
I don't know if I'm gonna be kicking it out on the town like that all day. You know what I'm saying? But I'll go partake in a couple activities and come on.
Yeah, it was wild, dude. They love their weed here. That shit legal here everywhere. And I remember,
I drank a 100 milligram drink. Oh, nigga. God damn. Hey, look, then I got a 250 milligram drink in the refrigerator and shit. I got a 100 milligram brownie. I told you I wanted cupcake.
One thing that's for sure is that it's not even legal now, and people still smoke like it's no tomorrow. I don't know how many times I've been driving down the street here, and all of a sudden it's like I'm smoking in my car.
You would think.
So people smoke anyways. I think the legalization of it, or I should say the decriminalization of it, is the part that I would push most, simply because of the disproportionate conviction rates for us as black men versus our white counterparts. And also I think that in a city where you are challenged to create tax revenue because you're not bringing sustainable employment, I think you should that money that's made by the decriminalization of it is, you can't turn a deaf ear to it. You can't ignore it. If you look at places where they've decriminalized it, look at the revenue that's generated by it. That's just, if you're gonna sell alcohol legally, if you're gonna sell cigarettes legally, if I can go to Walgreens and get all kinds of shit that'll kill me stiff as a board, just big pharma are the biggest drug dealers in the world, and they sell you some of the, listen to some of them side effects from some of them damn miracle drugs they have on TV, right? It's like, if all that shit's legal, stop being a hypocrite. Decriminalize this shit and let's move forward.
To add to your point, and I never thought I'd be like this, but I'm sorry, I 1000% agree, and let me tell you why. Pima College in Arizona, they have free welding classes. They have free plumbing classes, electrician shit. They have something called a Suntran and a Sun Van that you don't pay for within the certain city limits or whatever. It'll take you where you need to go. they have so many different programs, and a lot of it is paid for by the revenue generated by marijuana. So I mean, I'm with you, Kevin. I used to not be on that, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I just wish we would put ourselves in a position to where we can go ahead and get our licensing, and we have like a few people get together, and then we go ahead and benefit off of, as far as the revenue from it. And one other thing I want to add before you chime in, I could see Kamar because they're going to legalize it in Milwaukee. That's coming. So I could see him just with his business and his popularity, that would be a natural progression of what he already does. So I think, and that I think that's coming soon. It depends on who gets who wins the mayoral race. But I do really see that, because I think the decriminalization of marijuana is one thing, but they're going to legalize that in Wisconsin. It's coming soon. Trust me, within the next 5 years. And Kamar, I know you probably already ahead of the fucking curve on that. Oh, excuse me. Ahead of the doggone curve on that anyway. So
you already know I'm with it. But I was just gonna add on. I was gonna add on to what Kev said. You know what I mean about you was talking about when you was talking about riding down the street, how you smell it in the cars and all that shit. And you know how they just passed that new law about that. You know what I'm saying? Where
what?
you know what I mean, they sweat you even harder about the weed. They smell weed. They find weed in your car. Like you get
probable cause.
You know what I mean? Well, you know about the probable cause. That's been a thing already. But I'm talking about like they was talking about something about you get caught smoking in the car as a felony. You know what I mean? I'm like, so look,
no comment, man.
In the car, y'all. I quit that shit. I don't know. I ain't trying to.
No comment.
I ain't trying to
give us more felonies, right, Kumar?
But and hey, look, and then to talk about that, I was just watching this video today, and this some shit I already knew. But he was just talking about how to talk to the police. You know how like when they come up to the window and they, I smell marijuana. You know what I mean? And we always, a lot of the time, you talk too much and wind up giving them permission to search your car and all that, giving all that bullshit. You know, and it's just something that we don't know about. But yeah, we need to legalize that shit so we don't have to.
Yes, more felonies.
Even be playing a word battle with the police.
Dude, the main thing is, I had an attorney tell me this when I was young, and my mom tell me this the first time I ever gotten brought in for some bullshit. My mom said to me, she said, "Nigga, if you ever talk that much to the police again, I will kill you myself. When they arrest you, don't say anything. One, because two, I just heard you say this, and I did not know this. So they want to give you a felony if you're smoking marijuana in your car."
Yeah, well, so is drinking and driving. That's a felony too. You know what I mean? So
yeah, you driving under the influence.
What they saying is the same thing.
Smoking weed and flying nowhere.
You know what I mean? Like
see that point.
You basically getting caught under the influence.
That's a good point. It's just when you first said it threw me off a little bit. Wow.
Yeah, but like I said, it's ways around to get away that search type shit or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people don't know how to protect themselves. They don't know what to say to the police.
Nothing.
Moral of the story is happy 420 to everybody out there. Smoke it if you got it, right? And more importantly, do whatever it is that you do, but be safe doing it. They says that's the one thing I miss about Portland. They have some good weed. They have some good shit for sleep, nausea, shit that kills your appetite. They had some shit for focus. It was beautiful. Sharita Shaw says, congrats to 420. Just had an edible for the first time from 5 years ago. I'm like, what is that? I'm thinking that's somebody on the phone, but Dion is on the line, so I thought that was.
We all need to take a field trip. We all need to take a field trip.
I know it's not. I know it's not. I thought it was because you was on there.
We all need to take a field trip to the Waking Bakery.
Earl Henning says beers not for me, but I don't tell people who don't. He said he said they won't legalize it because they want to still be able to write them punk ass tickets and DUIs. Alcohol is worse for you. Weed on Super Bowl Sunday, they advertising the shit out of it. Let me see. She said weed smell. This is Sharita. She said weed smell is now a DUI. In the car.
Oh shit.
And driving under the influence of weed, yes, shit can write you a DUI for taking medication that's prescribed for your doctor. That's true.
Tiger Woods. Yeah, that's a good
She
point.
said the promo now is not only drinking while driving is high while driving. Same charge.
Oh, I've seen those commercials. Yeah, that's a very good point.
I mean, you ain't, yeah, to me, I don't think that's unreasonable. You shouldn't be driving down the street, especially in Milwaukee, where we got such a problem with reckless driving, blowing big behind the wheel. It can dull your senses. Do that shit. Do it the right way, man. It's like I say, it ain't what you do, is how you do it. I know I'm pissed if I'm driving my car down the street and some motherfucker run into me because he too busy putting his blunt out in the ashtray or passing the weed. It is what it is, right? Like they say, it's levels to the shit.
When I was younger, I used to do that all the time. It's just, it's crazy just thinking about it now. As 50 years old, I remember when I was younger, that's all we did. We grow, and drive at the, wild
all over the city.
Yeah, all over the city.
We drove 5 deep, smoking like a motherfucker, and that shit stopped early. That shit stopped for me very early though. Like after a couple years, it's like, well, this is dumb, and it was a stupid way to catch a case because once I learned a lot of my friends. Once I learned
did my whole life.
Only had, now it wasn't about the smoking. A lot of them had pistols and crack and dope on them, so we get pulled over for that. Now everybody's getting searched, so you catching a bigger case. So I'm like, you know what?
Now the only time, the times when we didn't was when we was riding dirty. That dope on us, no, ain't no smoking. You know what I'm saying? You busting the move, ain't no smoking.
Nope.
Earl Henning says my best work was done after I was high. Yeah, I mean, it depends, man. If you can handle it, you can handle it. If you can function, it's like alcohol. Some people are functioning alcoholics. They can get drunk as a skunk and still do what it is that they need to do. Some people can. Everything ain't for everybody, man. So knowing yourself is key. Now, I wanted to move on from this. I didn't know Dion was going to call in with, letting us know that it was Hitler's birthday or whatnot. So that conversation went way longer than I wanted it to. But I thought it was funny that I seen this footage of Cardi B, the rapper Cardi B, on the internet scolding her fellow Latinos, stating that they wouldn't have the rights that they have in this country right now if it wasn't for black people in the civil rights movement, right?
God.
So
it is what it is.
The reason why it's so funny to me is because we had this conversation months, maybe years ago about, and it's the whole thing with the FBA and the delineation movement is we as foundational Black Americans kind of patented, we revolutionized how to go about getting your rights when you are oppressed, when you are subjugated. And it was for us, obviously, but what this country did was they packed everybody into it. So everybody who can now claim a minority group in some shape, form, or fashion, from homosexuals to white women to, to Asians to Latinos, there's a toll that should be paid, or at least some thanks that should be given to us for the sacrifices that were made by foundational Black Americans in helping everybody really get on the trail to obtaining their basic human rights, their civil rights. So,
and it's our fault. It was our fault that we wasn't fighting for Black folks' rights. We was fighting.
I think a lot of Black people were
when you talk about civil rights,
that they were.
But what I'm saying is, when you talk about civil rights, you know what I mean? They talking about rights, human rights, rights for everybody. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is, they was thinking they was looking for some kind of action for Black people, I feel like. And that ain't what civil rights was about.
Well, I think there's a lot of...
Because, see, we still trying to ask politicians, what you going to do for us?
I think there's a misnomer, too, for a lot of the people during those times. They believed that since you looked at the screen and you saw Black people doing the marching, doing the demonstrations, and us taking the punches, that it was for us, right? And so that's always the mistake of that I look at when I look at all the sacrifices made, is that there wasn't more emphasis on empowerment for us. It was more about, you can say civil rights. That's almost a blanket statement now. Yep. And I think a lot of us kind of felt like, okay, this is for us. But then once things started to get past, you saw other groups kind of jump in front of us in lines. Excuse me.
Because look,
and then jump on there. So
exactly, and I feel like that's what black folks is feeling like back there, man, because they was out there dying. They felt like they was dying for their people. You know what I mean? This for our community, and it wasn't for us.
Right, and it's like I said, it's I think it's dope of her to admit that, but you know, at the same time, there are a lot of Latino people who don't even like black people. So,
and I
totally agree with her.
I wanted to chime in on that. I saw a video.
My bad. I was just gonna say I agree with her because you know what I mean. It is because of black people why they get action like that here.
It's funny. It's funny that y'all talking about this right now because I go on the internet, I torture myself. So I watched some FBA stuff online, and there's this guy. He put a video out there, and I just and I had to send him a message. I was like, bro, this is some of the best piece of material I've seen in so long. He found a video with I believe a Cuban Latina. And she was talking about, and this is how she did it. I'm gonna do my best impersonation. She was like, first and foremost, black people, you guys are just draining and annoying or whatever. You know, you've heard black fatigue. So I'm like, okay, it's gonna be one of them videos. I was impressed at the level of gaslighting. She said FBA culture is white American culture that we just adopted to our own. So she talked for about 2 minutes, and then the editor of the video cut it off, and it showed like 20 different white people shredding her. Like, dude, do you realize that damn near everything in America, from popular culture to inventions, are all created by foundational black Americans? It was cool listening to it because it's like, dude, it goes to the overall point. And then I thought about it. How many, I mean, I'm not generalizing, so if any Spanish people hear this, don't take offense. When I say you, I'm not talking about all of you, but the ones that did, how many of the motherfuckers voted for Trump? Just really think about it and put in this perspective. And that's why it's cool that Cardi B said that, but it all just ties into it. She's separating herself. And granted, her industry is, as far as with us, thank you. I love your face on that one. You like, she better say that shit or she'll be like Nicki Minaj and be kind of ostracized. So it's just funny, man. People be taking their positions or whatever. But yeah, bro, there are a section of people that just really, no matter what, they hate us so much to where we can't get credit for the things we have. And it ties into the civil rights movement, to what you two gentlemen just said. It should have been more about black people, because when you do civil rights, it's about all rights. You know what I mean? Malcolm X talked about human rights. So you can create a UN case against the oppressors in America. But damn, bro, like, it's like you can't win with these races.
But we also got to understand too, motherfuckers move the goal line. So
yes,
you move the goalpost. So yeah, of course. Nobody's thinking at that time that there would be this tremendous bandwagon, we call ball hugging, dick riding, once things start to go in motion for us, because at the time, the audacity to even speak to the fact that there was some need for legislation that guaranteed us some freedoms, some rights. People thought it was ridiculous, right? So once it was, then all of a sudden the meaning of civil rights changes. So now, like we just said, now it's everybody. It ain't just y'all. Because what do they utilize now to say to us, even with the FBA thing, is you hear a lot of people saying, well, it's reverse racism, right? So somebody can be oppressed and somebody can be ostracized and exploited for years and years and years. And that person, if they get their rights and they start to stand up for themselves, then the would-be oppressor will say, well, now you're racist against me. So you talk about reverse racism. And it's what I just said. It's just moving the goalposts. And hell, you had black people at the time who disagreed with some of the movements for our rights and for us gaining the positioning that we should have in this country, which, by the way, we still don't have to this day. And because you have a bunch of people who jumped on the bandwagon, it kind of pushed us further back in line. So it's still stuff that we're fighting. We're still fighting for our basic civil rights. It's not over. But it was cool for her to say that. I don't know if we as people owe her anything. She is in an industry that, for all intents and purposes, is our culture. She's a rapper, right? Like, so, is that it's almost like pandering a little bit, like she's pandering to her fans. I hope she really feels like that, right? And it's like me saying, if you ain't racist, don't tell me you ain't racist, or don't tell me you got a black friend. Let me see you behave differently. Let me see you try to empower black people, try to include them on anything you have that's positive or successful. Try to include them, as opposed to, because I don't care whether or not, if you feel that way, that's fine, but I want to see it in your actions. Ace Cooley is saying, he said, shit, keeping it 100, you got a bunch of Hispanics that are participating with ICE. The Hispanics that have fled their countries legally are saying they don't want illegals coming over because that's the shit that they're running from. Yeah, I think it's this is a turning point to me for Hispanics in America. I feel like Hispanics here have had to kind of figure it out. So you had to start figuring out where you stand, because for so long, being here legally was one of your norms, right? Like, so I think at this point, it's just like, well, the choice is, what you gonna do? You gonna come here legally and be a citizen? So, or are we gonna look around all the time and you got a big ass Mexican flag in front of your house, but then you mad when ICE comes to your door saying you ain't legal? Do you take the Mexican flag down and put up a United States flag? I don't know. I think Latinos have a choice to make. Earl said, back looking for missing people in Mike Locke's old yard. Yes, I seen that. I was going to talk about that a little bit down the line. They are digging up a yard again, looking at a different property, saying they're looking for more bodies. Sharita Shaw said, I said his name before the news hit. Who we talking about? Mike Locke. This is Sharita. She said, y'all haven't had an edible in 5 years. Guess what? Just don't judge me. Yeah, this is a judgment-free zone for me. I don't judge anybody for anything they do. Eat all the edibles you want. I mean, I've done so much in my life, it'd be hard for me to judge anybody for doing anything, right? Like, I am not the one to pass judgment, because I've been on my own, marching to the beat of my own drum for a very long time. But I want to talk about so it rained. So this is rainy season. So we've been having these tremendous rains, and every time it rains in certain parts of the city, there's flooding, right? And we're not talking about minor flooding. We're talking about major mini waterways being created. And I see that there's a lot of people who are going out saying, well, it's because of the trash. And we had this because we had the 1,000-year flood back in the summer, and there were parts of the city that were flooded, and there were people who went out and they were sweeping off the sewage tops, the grates, and the water was draining. My point at that time was, well, Wauwatosa was flooded, the suburbs and suburban areas were flooded. And I feel like people were blaming, once again, you blame the poor black folks. But I'm wondering now, is Milwaukee taking a look at what's going on with this flooding? Because right now it's just becoming ridiculous. Like, and I don't know if people know, but we have millions, hundreds of millions invested in a deep tunnel system that's supposed to prevent this kind of thing. And I know a long time ago, locks were set up, and they were set up so that surrounding suburban areas could be spared these kinds of things as well. And I'm wondering how they're managing the flood water, because we know you get reports after major waterfall in the city, and they talk about how much raw sewage was let into Lake Michigan because of the deep tunnel system flooding. But I haven't heard our mayor refer to any kind of fixes, solutions. And I know people say, well, they've cut street sweeping down. I don't know what the deal is and it's always the same areas. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if there's anybody out there who's more knowledgeable about this than myself. Now, if you just a ghetto hood plumber and you don't really know anything, you just speculating and guessing, please don't give me information. But if you have any real information on what's causing this and how we can deal with it, I would like for you to, kind of step into the conversation. Because, man, I look at, like, I'm watching the news, or I'm on Facebook, or I'm on social media during the rain, and it's like, to 27th and Capitol, in areas in the neighborhood where I grew up, where water is 3-4, and it's not even that much rainfall, but in these areas, it's 4 or 5 feet of water. So I'm wondering, once again, our mayor, since he is, I guess the buck stops there, what is going on? Is this a situation where there needs to be some improvements made on this deep tunnel system? Who's managing the locks on where the water is going? Are you overprotecting the suburbs, and this is causing a negative situation for the hood, or what's going on? But I know it's just ridiculous. Every time it rains hard, start to look on TV, and it's flood waters just everywhere. Just the streets is just cars being submerged. So it's another failing mechanism in Milwaukee about what's going on with the sewage. So it's unbelievable. I watch it. I'm like, man, this is crazy every time that the rain comes. And shout out to the people who do go out and sweep the trash off the sewage tops and stuff like that. The question is, maybe we should be doing that before it rains, because there's a lot of areas of the city where it's just trash everywhere. Like you drive down the street, say, look at all this damn garbage. And nobody's picking it up. So we wait until the whole block is flooded. You know, it's being reactive as opposed to being proactive. I think maybe we should, or maybe we should just stop throwing trash every goddamn where in our neighborhoods. Like a lot of times you got people who are just nasty and filthy. They just throw garbage everywhere. So I don't know. It's a problem right now. It's only so long before something tragic happens. With these floods, man. It's only and the property damages. FEMA ain't gonna help us with this. This is something that they're looking at like, that's your problem, you nasty motherfucker. Stop throwing garbage everywhere. Like I don't even know if that's the main culprit of the flooding, is that the sewages are covered with trash or whatever. But I know it is a possibility because there's so much trash on the streets in Milwaukee on any given day. And so, especially in some of the, lower income areas where you drive and you say, damn, look at all this damn garbage. Like, why is garbage like it's
He's like, why is this garbage everywhere?
Why is it just no maintenance? Once again, when you can make $200 million in taxpayer generated revenue, and you give 90% of it to a pension plan, when you got fucking backed up sewage in basements and on the streets every time it rains, it goes to show you how stupid that was on the city's part to blow that bread like that. And I say, our mayor, it's just another area, man. Like, is there anything that this city is going to do to improve quality of life before he's gone? Like, I don't see anything that they're doing. You could say, well, they made the streets more narrow and put bump outs to deal with reckless driving. Okay. That doesn't really, to me, it hasn't improved the quality of life in our city. To me, it hasn't.
No.
I'm just one individual, so I don't know. But the damn sure need to take a look at this sewage system before we lose someone who's just driving home from work and all of a sudden it's raining and you run into a big ass puddle and you get swept away by some floodwaters or some shit. So Sharita Shaw said the mayor's a plant.
I read that before you did. I was being quiet.
He's a plant.
He's a plant.
You know what he is? I think he might just be a brother who took on a job where he kind of underestimated how much shit he was gonna have to deal with.
Yeah, I don't think he understood the complexity of the position. I just don't think he did. It's over. I don't know
how he didn't, and he'd been sitting on the mayor's side for our former mayor. He'd been sitting there in City Hall dealing with politics and the governance of the city for the last, I don't know how many years. There's no way he shouldn't have known.
What I think you answered your question. I mean, did Barrett seem like he was on top of anything? Maybe he's just following his predecessor.
I think Barrett, now this is just me.
Yes.
At this point, I think Barrett was a lot more proactive when it came to dealing with issues than our mayor is now, because Barrett inherited a city from Norquist that actually has started to get up off his knees again. Norquist inherited Mayor Meyer's mess. It was a hot mess.
Mayor Meyer's mess.
Hey, and it's a fact. It's a fact that Barrett gave a fuck about crime because remember he got his ass whooped trying to protect somebody.
He was touched. There was hands and feet.
He got his ass whooped trying to protect somebody. You know what I mean? So like shit. What more can you ask for? A mayor that's willing to get in the mix his goddamn self. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying he's a good player, but I'm just looking at that aspect, commenting on what you said, kid.
And I'm not saying that Barrett was a great mayor. I'm saying you saw him a lot of times trying to come up with shit. And a lot of the shit didn't float. We know that now, right? So a lot of the times, I think that's what kind of wars welcome out with us is, I know me personally as a voter, I got tired of him doing these press conferences, making promises and shit, and nothing ever moved. As it say in the hood, nothing ever shook. And it's not, it's good to talk about it, but nothing ever happened. But I just don't see our mayor now as a real active dude and coming up with solutions. I just don't see it. I don't see him. He doesn't strike me as an innovative leader. Like for somebody who's going to be the leader of this city, they have to be a forward thinker, man. Somebody who's and there has to be a certain level of aggressiveness. I don't see him being that, right? I just don't. And that's just my personal perception of him. Ace says another problem is mental health of society. There was a man that killed himself, his wife, and their 8 kids.
Oh,
the American people really are traumatized by the political climate. Is it the climate? Is it the political climate? We're a pretty violent society, period. I don't know if it's just the political climate. Although the political climate is wild as motherfucker right now. Sarita Shaw said, plant motherfuckers. That's just like I seen the rapper, while we talking about rappers, I seen the rapper Ice Spice. She's in California at a McDonald's. At a random McDonald's with like a random white girl. And some young sister walks up to her and starts talking to her. I guess she didn't like the response. She said that Ice Spice was being rude to her, and so she went to swinging on her, slapped her, try to slap her up, right? Like, and this ends up being a big confrontation where it's young brothers, young men involved, and it spills outside the McDonald's. And so, I seen it. And I was like, I watched the Star Report. So Star was talking about it on YouTube. And so I went to see the footage myself, and it was on TMZ. And the young lady they've interviewed her, and she's saying, well, I walked up to her as a fan and was just trying to approach her, and she got rude with me. So you decided that you was gonna slap the taste out of her mouth. I don't understand. I also don't understand Ice Spice being in a random McDonald's with no security guard or nothing in Los Angeles. Like,
that's LA, dog. They don't play over there.
Sometimes, I feel like some of our entertainers, in particular rappers, start to feel this kind of sense of invulnerability. Like they can do whatever they want to do and they won't be touched, or they can go wherever they want to go. And in LA is the last place on earth. If I'm an entertainer, I'm going with no security. Right. And they're saying, well, she didn't
killed at the Waffle House.
Yeah, P&B Rock. And so, look at Pop Smoke, who was murdered in his mansion, right, after accidentally leaking his address. It's a very dangerous situation. But if you are a celebrity and you ain't got security and someone approaches you, my suggestion to you would be as nice as you fucking possibly can. You really ain't in a position to get slick with nobody. Like, it's like, I feel like you're taking a chance. Now, I'm not saying Ice Spice deserves that, but I feel like she put herself in harm's way. And so, they do have a drive-through in McDonald's. Like, we could have went through the drive-through and got our food and went and sat somewhere and ate, right? Like, it was.
Yep.
It's a strange situation, man. It's a strange situation, man. This is Ace saying the Ice Spice situation might have been clout chasing shit. I don't know if it was clout chasing, but I know it was like, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you because you got slick with me, which is usually what happened when your mouth go to running, man. And you ain't listen. There's nobody on this earth who's untouchable. I don't care how bad you think you is. I don't care how many asses you done whooped.
Get your ass whooped out here.
You can get touched. It can happen to you. Mm-hmm. You need to keep your head on a swivel, keep your eyes peeled, and keep your mouth shut, right? And so, if you want to get, because you got some money or you got some celebrity, you want to get smart with somebody. First of all, you're in McDonald's. Why is she in McDonald's, right? And the white girl who was with her didn't seem to be much help either. Like she, at one point, she actually left her, like she was up front, like tussling, and the white girl like went back to her seat, like my fries getting cold type shit. Like so I was just like, don't take her to Mickey D's with you no more. Like she is not.
I told that bitch Ice to stop talking shit.
I'm not a fan of Ice Spice's music either. I'm not but I know she has a celebrity. She's one of the Bend Over Sisters. I call them the Bend Over Sisters. There's a bunch of female rappers who, no matter what the song is called, no matter what the name, what the theme of the song is, they just gonna bend over. And it's like, oh shit, okay, that's you see her from behind and say that's Ice Spice. Like you know her ass more than you know her face, right? Like so, I would think her personally would really want some security around her because you don't want people to approach you and mistreat you.
That just shows she don't make that much money. Them kind of rappers that don't be on labels, that don't tour, they don't have a lot of money because they don't sell albums anymore, and the streams don't pay you like that.
That's true, but she was in LA though, so wasn't she? Was she touring? Is she opening? What is she doing? Like you know what I'm saying?
She might have been touring McDonald's. Shit.
Wow, the McDonald's tour. Okay, your free burger. Right, like
in the parking lot, just rapping her ass off. You don't know that? I ain't got one of those in a few weeks.
Earl Henning says too much water for the old system. That's it. Well, I mean, how much did they had to?
Yeah,
that system has to have large capabilities. That rain the other day. Now the 1,000-year flood I got because that was rain for real. That was rain. The other day. It wasn't that serious. It was raining hard, but it was like, half the inner city shouldn't be flooded because of that. Like that's inexcusable. It just makes me think it's a fly in the buttermilk. A says the PNB Rock situation was Big Hugh ass trying to extort the brother on that checking in shit. Him and Jay Prince got rich off extorting black artists, but won't do the shit to anybody white. He said, real sellouts. I don't know. You got to be careful how you make accusations, Ace. How much? I don't know. I know Big U was a figure in LA for a very long time who people, the check-in thing was official. But see, to me, if you go to certain cities, I feel like you should check in. Like, so I'm not going to go to Detroit. I got family in Detroit, right? I'm not going to go to Detroit unless I call my cousins in Detroit and say, what up, cuz? Man, I was going to come through there. I'm going to be staying here. Woo, woo, woo. I'm coming over there to go to yada, yada, yada. What's good? If I'm going to Chicago and I got a lot of family in Chicago, you think I wouldn't call them and say, hey, what up, cuz? Man, yeah, I was going to come your way, man. What's happening over there? You can say, well, I ain't checking in with nobody. But I am. I'm calling you to see what's the temperature, what's going on. And if I'm going to a place, because a lot of times somebody who's from that place can say, hello, man, for you go over there, man, be careful. They on whoop-de-woo-woo-woo over there, or they doing woo-woo-woo over there. Watch your ass. And you say, okay, cool. Or they might say, man, you know what? I'm going too. We can roll together. That way you go with some people who are from the city, from the turf. When you start, I ain't got to check in for nobody. Well, you don't. You don't have to do nothing.
No, you don't.
But lay your ass down when they pull that gun on you and catch you slipping and take that damn chain off.
Face
take
down,
the jewelry
ass
off.
up, motherfucker.
Yeah, so I don't. A Big U is about to do a lot of time, man. He's gone. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's. I'd say that. I think he washed. Yeah, he washed. It's over.
Big
there's
U
no coming back from that.
He's about to do some calendars. With all the charges they got on him, it is just about to be crazy, man. Ruben Anderson in the chat room. What to do, Rube? How you doing, man? How you doing, my brother? How you doing? Welcome to the show. It is Outlaw Radio Live. We have already been discussing it's 420, of course. So it's happy 420 to those who partake, and to those who don't, then peace to you as well. If you don't smoke and you say, I ain't with that shit, I don't do drugs. Well, when you get a headache, don't let me catch your ass with no bottle of Tylenol, because I'm be like, them drugs. That's a drug you about to take. I'll see you with a cup of Starbucks in the morning in the drive-thru. I see you with a Newport broke off in your mouth, right? Like I'm just saying, Hey, because a drug is a drug is a drug. Okay, so it's and like the sister said, we all got our vices. I don't know what yours is. I don't know what anybody's is, but one thing I try to do is not preach to them, especially if it doesn't affect me in a negative way. Now, if you smoke weed and every time you get high, you come by my house fucking shit up, or you can't be in my house without lighting your weed up, and especially the only thing I hate to see is people who love to blaze around children, little bitty babies, little 3-4-year-olds, you blowing big weed in their face and all that because it can have something that will affect their mental development. But my personal thing is to say I wouldn't do that. But if them yo kids, you look at me and say, "This is my goddamn kid," you know what? You right. Smoke away, mother.
He said smoke away.
Smoke away. Oh, he's 15 and he's off the chain.
Pass a little nigga a blunt.
Hey man, shit, smoke with him. Light one up. I mean, it's a million different ways to skin a cat, man. It's a million different ways to skin a cat. Now, speaking of drugs, did y'all see T.I.'s son get arrested for driving in the car? And he had drugs on him, and he had on a full Pikachu outfit.
Where's 50 Cent when you need him?
What's up with the Pikachu outfit? And he's a grown man. He's over 21. I'm saying, is this a result of him getting high, that he was so high that he wanted to be Pikachu, or is this just something he does? Like he just chill all day, does he do content?
Okay, no, this is the thing, and this is why I be saying that, like, for instance, from like where we come from is different than even mentality wise to where our sons come from. And I'll give you an example of what I'm saying and why I'm saying it. I was going out to my electric car in the neighborhood where there's no crime in Arizona, right? Little crime is littering. And I saw a young man walking up the street, and he was in a full-fledged banana costume. It's not Halloween, mind you, but he was like 10 years old. He had on a banana costume and not a care in the world. T.I.'s son comes from privilege, and that's why all of the tough talk and the rap shit really didn't resonate with me or any of the Negroes that I grew up with at all. It just didn't resonate with us. All jokes aside, bro, I just don't get it, man. Like, I mean, what the fuck, was he that high?
Hey, we all know a goofy ass kid when we see one.
And that's my point with him.
We all know a kid that ain't got no goddamn sense when we see one.
And that's King.
That's disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? With that whole little crowd. Like, I was watching a video on that new Kill Boy video, right? This motherfucker on there with a blanket over his shoulders. They got strawberry shortcake on it and all. You know what I mean? It's just the culture that's going on. You know what I mean? And you know that type when you see it. They got personality markers that they all hit. You know what I'm saying?
They be furries. Like, I was at the mall and I saw a kid dressed like a werewolf and he had a tie. He had a tail. Normal. It's not even Halloween. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with these little niggas, man? It is what it is.
Girl said they just don't get it.
That's a good way to put it.
He said, somebody tell young King marijuana is one hell of a drug. You just don't want him to end up in Debo's chicken coop. Hey, I haven't heard an explanation for the Pikachu outfit, but I'm not that invested in it anyways. Part of this is sensationalized because he's a celebrity son.
That's so funny.
But it's just weird. That's not something that brothers used to get caught up in. Like, brother got pulled over and popped and had a full Woody Woodpecker costume on. Like,
I got a Superman onesie and a Batman onesie.
Yeah.
And that was a onesie that he had. That wasn't no, like, a motherfucker out there wearing a Pikachu outfit. Like, like, what? Motherfucker wearing Ninja Turtle onesies to bed and shit. Like, what's wrong with that? Then I go to the
I personally don't know no grown ass man wearing no onesie, no
I have a onesie, Kevin. You hear me? I own a onesie, a Batman and a goddamn
And you driving down the street in it?
I mean, if I got to go to the gas station, yeah, but I don't walk outside of my...
Dion, if I see your big thuggish ass get out at the gas station with a onesie on, a Batman onesie, I'm going to say that's some weirdo shit.
I'm thugging, Kev. I'm thugging.
Or either use a fucking part-time crime fighter. What the fuck is going on? Like I'm saying,
I would think your ass go after kids and shit, and you trying to have some Epstein shit popping off.
What the fuck is? I would call if I knew that we don't have any like same kind of acquaintances. But if I knew one of your partners who was knew you, if I seen you do that, the first thing I do is call him and say, "What's up with your guy, man? I just seen him on 35th in Townsend at the gas station with a Batman onesie on at the gas station. Like, what the fuck is going on? Is he okay?" If he say, "Nah, man, that's just how he roll," I say, "All right." But it's like you, the person who can't stand to see somebody's feet when you go to their house, think it's normal to wear a Ninja Turtle onesie to a gas station. It's funny, man. You never know where people's head is at. Sharita said the dude just say the Negroes. He did. That's why I gave him the good womp because he said the Negroes like he was like a white dude from outside our community.
Negroes. That's how the motherfuckers be though. Like when they be growing up like that, they just think things a certain way, bro. Like they don't understand. Like, what the fuck was this little nigga doing wearing a Pikachu costume? And high at that, like, what is he? His dad is T.I. What the fuck, man? Man.
Well,
I don't get it.
T.I. got a successful comeback. His song been at the top of the charts, but yo. Because I'm called if this is my son, I'm not even a celebrity, but if I got to go pick him up from the police station,
dressed like that,
he come out with that on, I'm gonna look at him and say, "What the fuck do you got on? Like, what is wrong with you, man?" But it's normalized, I guess. Like Dion just said, he said he got a onesie that he wears occasionally from time to time.
Could you beat your dad up when you were 16? Even though would you say how old he was? 56.
I might have been physically strong enough to overpower him, but I wouldn't even tried it.
No, of course not. No, that's not what I mean.
I wouldn't have even attempted it. First of all, there was no reason for me to. And secondly, my respect for him was just too great, too enormous. There's no way. And my father was even as an older man, he was strong because he worked for what he did for a living.
Yeah.
He might have came out the box and surprised my big ass at the time. So
he probably would have. And that's kind of my point. It's funny you said that because me and Emerson, my youngest, my 9-year-old, I was 40 when he was born. That's why I said that. When you said that, I was like this. That's similar. We got a similar story.
Yeah. I mean, my son, I wasn't that old when he was born. I think I was 30 when my son was born. But I would hope now, obviously, I'm getting older. My physical strength ain't what it used to be. I would hope he never got to the point where he decided I'm going to whoop daddy's ass.
Nah, he'll whoop somebody's ass for you if he had to in a second.
Well, I think he need not underestimate the level of savagery that daddy come from. So, you don't really want to push that button with me. That's not something you want to do. I'm a cool brother. Like, I don't fuck with nobody. Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone.
Mind your business.
Don't do that. Because I have a side of me that I put in a closet a long time ago and locked it away, and it ain't gay. It's a savage side, and I knew
you ain't got no Pikachu costume waiting for you to have either.
No. I don't got no onesie. I don't have.
I didn't say onesie. I said Pikachu.
Yeah, that's some real shit. Real, bro. Like what you was just saying. No bullshit. You could leave the house for a bag of chips and being called a quadruple homicide just that quick. No bullshit. Like I you know what I'm saying? Like I be have to watch myself. Like I be have to watch myself because I know, you know what I'm saying? Like it's easy to get on a nigga ass out here, but he get on mine, and I gotta make it worth it though. Cause I already know the outcome, so I gotta make it worth it though. So like when I be out here in the streets, man, I just be cool. I hold my head down. I just try to just get in. Like if I said, I be some dangerous places, but I mean to me they not dangerous, but y'all be like 27 umbrella, this, that, and other. You know what I'm saying? Like I go get me a Italian beef or a guy roll or somewhere. I'm on my lunch, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, though, you know what I'm saying? Like real. And I was telling a motherfucker that when I was down in Chicago last week. You know what I'm saying? I was like, it's crazy that you have to be more savage than the next motherfucker. If I know you would kill me, I got to kill your whole family. You know what I'm saying? I just can't stop at you because I got to make it worth it. You feel what I'm saying? Like when you be seeing these shoes and shit out here, bro, this shit be mad, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers shoot the whole car, kill everybody. You know what I'm saying? And everybody had nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta try to be smooth. You know what I'm saying? Like when I go down to Memphis next month, I'm gonna move so different. You know what I'm saying? I ain't like when I used to go down there, I used to move sloppy. I ain't gonna lie, like I stopped moving sloppy when I went down to New Orleans. It was my ex-girl, she'd be like, you fuck around and get locked up down here. Milwaukee, everywhere ain't like Milwaukee. Milwaukee, they, you know, you get a tap on the hand, woo out the band, blah, blah, you fuck around and go down there. I'll be calling Outlaw Radio from Parchment. Me and C Murder be roommates like, damn, kid, they caught a ticket. They caught a ticket down here, man. Say free Dion up there, man. It's rough, Kev. I'll be crazy. Like, Kev, I ain't never seen no shit like this before, man. Like, I've been to Stanley. I've been to Dodge. I've been to Angola. Oh, my. I've seen 4 niggas get stabbed. About 17 niggas get raped. They call me Milwaukee down here. I just try to just lift weights all day and just try to stay on my motherfucking, you know, I'm G&D'ing down here, though. You know what I'm saying? These niggas ain't got the GDs down here, but, you know, I'm G&D'ing all day long. But, man, you know, so now, when I did that shit down there in New Orleans, I was like, I ain't about to move sloppy when I be going to these states no more, you know what I'm saying? Because 9 times out of 10, you know, niggas from the mill, we just feel like we untouchable. We go play like, man, because motherfuckers ain't never heard of Milwaukee, so you be like, I'm proving myself, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I'm from the mill, murder mill, you know what I'm saying? Money, mac, and murder, manipulation, everything, you know, ain't number gangsters up there, but now when I go, man, listen, man, I'm from Kansas.
Well,
man.
I'm a Second Amendment guy, so
you ain't got no no felony, but nigga, you can't be going over state lines with them guns.
Well,
you fuck around and be like,
my point is even around here. My point is even around here. It ain't even about going across state lines. My point is even around here. People ask me all the time, like, "Yo, why you don't carry none of this shit? You got all this shit. Why you don't carry?" Because number one, I was telling you about that dude that is locked away. I can't control him in certain situations, and if I got that on me, it might get ugly. And I don't never want to. I'm not the type of person. I'm not a psychopath, and I'm also not a sociopath. I'm not a person who feels like it's easy or you know, routine to just pull out a gun and just shoot a motherfucker 12, 13 times and take his life and I'm gonna go home and sleep like a baby. I'm not into that. I came to the gas station to give me some whatever. I didn't come here to murder nobody. And so I try to police my locations where I go. And like Dion said, normally when I'm somewhere, I'm trying to be a fly on the wall. I'm not even trying to rep no hood, no nothing like that. I'm minding my business. You got to go out of your way to fuck with me. Like you got to have to be on one fully that day. Like I just want to fuck with dude for no reason. But you know, more often than not, I'm in and out. I'm moving, minding my business. I don't have no real issues with nobody where it's like, well, we see dude is on site.
Yeah.
So, there's no need for me to really carry. And I'm not a fearful guy either. So there's really no need for me to carry some of the shit I got would be ridiculous. Like, why do you have this in the car? Like this makes no sense.
Now, just to add to that, now in Milwaukee, my daughter made fun of me. She said I was going soft because when I lived in Milwaukee, I didn't go anywhere without my gun. I just didn't. But I grew up there and for other reasons, right? But when I got out here, I didn't know a lot of people, and we in a suburb called Oro Valley. You know where the lady, I guess from the Today Show, Guthridge, I guess her mom disappeared. Her name is Savannah Guthridge. She's on the Today Show, but her mom disappeared. I live like 5 minutes away from her. So it's kind of like I live in that kind of community. There's no need for me to roll with my pistol like I used to in Milwaukee. So yeah, I'm with you though, Kevin. Like, because you think though, like you deal with some nonsense, it's a couple of people, you might get a little trigger happy, which I completely understand because you think, man, it's my life or theirs. But like you police your situations, you go certain places. Like when I'm driving, I don't stop certain places because Tucson got some areas that are a little sketchy. I ain't gonna lie, for you, me, Dion, and OG. You do like I did when I first got here and just walked through those neighborhoods and you really didn't have no problem. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to be cocky. I'm just saying it's what they consider bad is nothing compared to Capitol. It's nothing compared to Miami Key North Chambers. Nothing. I've been trying to find some shit like that here. It doesn't exist. Now in Phoenix, yes. Phoenix, one of the 4th biggest cities in the country. You got ghettos in Phoenix, but I've been in Phoenix and the other there. No, it's not the same. You got a little more gang culture in certain areas. because of California, the influence of LA. But yeah, man, it's nothing like that. So I'm with you. I don't carry my gun like that no matter what.
A says, Ian, you better quit playing. You do know about the Marvin Gaye story. Gen X black kids are not known for trying their parents.
Yeah. He ain't lying. Yeah, he ain't. I'm gonna do a skit on this.
If my son got to the point where that's what he wanted to do, I would diffuse the situation, but I would also tell him after that it was time for him to go.
Yeah, for sure. He
actually got time for you to move out. Like, you don't have a lot of time. You got maybe a day or two, because I can't have that from you. Now we in the house, right? So I ain't gotta worry about, do I got it on me? It's sitting there. It's right there. I'm not gonna let you. I just can't let that happen. I don't want to do that to you. That's not something that I would ever want to live with. But just let's not make this a situation, right? And it ain't just about like firearms. That. I have multiple blades because I like knives as well. So
oh God.
It's just like don't fuck with me. I'm just saying, don't fuck with me. Leave me alone. Yeah, I'm mind my business. I'm a good dude. Leave me alone. Let me just move around, keep cool booty, and we won't have to worry about that shit. And so, just because I'm old don't mean I fold. Put it like that. Earl Henning said, and people, he's talking about the costumes. He said, and people see you and say, there goes Superman. Better remember, Superman was a comic book.
and he ain't no man of steel. In the words of Nipsey Hussle, ain't no black Superman.
Ain't no black Superman. So anybody can get it.
Nigga.
Anybody can get it, man. I done seen some tough ass dudes get their day, had a day where it was time. Get touched up.
Mm-hmm.
As they say, get your collar straightened out. It ain't.
Yes,
sir. Ooh, don't do that.
That's why it's cool to come to terms with your mortality. You say, know what, right. I'm just a man. I'm just a man trying to make it, man. I ain't trying to be out here all, and I got some homeboys who still have their foot kind of in the street. They still got a foot in the street. But I tell them, I'm proactive in telling them, hey, man, I ain't on that bullshit, man. Leave that shit at home when I'm rolling with you. And they can say what they want. Oh, Kev, man, you right. You're right. I'm a super, 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 superb square right now. Yeah. I have squared all the way up in my life. I don't welcome no drama, no bullshit. Up. Yeah,
I'm
man.
a square bear.
I'm trying to live to see my grandkids, man. I ain't got time for your foolishness. He said, Kev, like, do I want to stick them or shoot them? It's a hard decision. Listen, I don't want to do nothing to you. What I want for you to leave me alone. Is what I want for you to
mind my business and live.
Don't make me have to choose.
I think sticking them is a little bit more personal.
It is.
On the real.
Oh, it is. Any cop will tell you that. Yeah,
probably a lot more messy as well.
You a different kind of nigga if you stabbing people. You are.
Yeah, I don't want none of the above, man.
Not really. Shit, you fighting for your life. Shit, stab shit out you, boy.
More often than not, the only way you're going to get served in the business end of anything from me is if you come into my home. And I feel like you're threatening my family or me. Then say, man, a Biggie say, slow singing and flower bringing.
I'm walking away
There's
from
going to be a lot of slow singing and flower bringing.
I don't care if I'm out. I don't have no need to show you I'm tough. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit, bro. Because you don't know what a motherfucker got in his car. You don't know what a motherfucker, if he got a small 25 in his coat, you don't know what nobody got. So if you ain't prepared to take it there.
Hey, you don't know what nobody going through too.
Exactly, dog. That motherfucker might have went to that bar or wherever you at just to fuck somebody up. And I don't want to be the person to give you.
I ain't tough. I ain't tough. I know what prison feel like. That shit ain't tough, nigga. Yeah. Prison is tough.
There was times in my youth where I pushed the line. I ain't listen. I'm very, 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 very accomplished physically. I ain't never been no stranger. And once again, you can ask anybody who knows me, who's known me for a very long time. It was one time when I prided myself on the fact that at any given time we can get it on. Like I don't let's fuck them. Let's throw them. Like that was something that was ingrained in us in our neighborhood. You got to fight. You couldn't even come out the house if you wasn't really willing to fight. But them days is gone, man. I'm not no young whippersnapper no more. Like I'm not on that now. I'm not I don't even want to be around nobody that's overly aggressive. Nigga, calm down. It's 420.
I'm only gonna fight you in the gym. And I'm with you on that shit. Like back in the day, like you'll fight a motherfucker or whatever, but it really ain't really that much talking, especially if a motherfucker talk crazy. You like you said, you on their ass. No, nowadays, hell to the no, because you got something to lose. All three of us do. Shit, all four of us do in this motherfucker. Yeah. Can you imagine the lawsuit you'll get, Kevin fucking Barnes, if you punch a nigga, he fall down and you break his eye orbital? He's suing you to own a piece of your house. That shit crazy, bro, and that shit is real. Don't put my hands on nobody. I'm good, man. Whatever. Yep, I'm a bitch ass nigga. Yep, let me go to my fucking car or truck and get out of here. I apologize for offending you. Whatever. Until you put your hands on me, I'm not.
Also, you gotta understand. No, it's this world that we live in ain't the same world we grew up in. It's people out here that literally ain't got shit to lose. Like think about dude who killed his whole family the other day. Could you imagine honking your horn at him and talking crazy? This man has killed everybody. Do you think he give a fuck about killing you? You know what I'm saying? He know he's not going home tonight. He's not eating no breakfast. And the sad part about me when I think about people that get killed, don't get killed on your pay period, man. Don't get your last check. You know what I mean?
God damn.
You know that I always think about that though. I be like, damn, motherfucker died, didn't even collect their last check. And your family ain't gonna be able to get it because the job gonna give you hell trying to get it. You know what I'm saying? I be like, man, I don't want to down my pay period.
You know, think about it though, man. But think about it. Let's be honest though, man. Usually something happened to somebody, they got into it. You know what I mean? They got into it somewhere. So conflict resolution, you know what I'm saying, comes to an issue. Like when we start getting older, you start understanding that a little bit better. You know what I mean? Conflict resolution.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
How can we move past this without the conflict? You know what I'm saying? Like really, you could have it. You
sir. Yes,
sir. But when you're young, it's harder to come to that, to get to that point. You know what I mean? When you're younger, you still your ego trying to protect. Would you say, Kev?
One of the most sobering realities you ever get is if you've ever been into it with somebody or at some place or in some situation, and you turn on the TV and you see that individual or that place or that situation result in somebody getting killed, and you say, I was just in there, or me and dude had beef. Like me and dude, I was just into it with them dudes over there, and not knowing that they say you was in the shadow of death. So it's like you be like, you know what, I got to be more careful, man. Like I'm just saying, like I know some there's an individual who I personally had a conflict with that almost got fisticuffs.
Dig this. I got another.
He ended up later murdering somebody else, one of our peers in the neighborhood. And I always thought about, I was into it with him, and there ain't no telling that night it could have been me that he murdered. You know what I'm saying? So it made me a lot more aware. Be careful how you move.
I'm sure Dion can attest to this, right? Like you be into it, I done seen niggas into it on the streets, right? Get to the joint, especially in the feds. You know what I mean? Especially in the feds, you get to a point now where it's like you niggas on the same team. Y'all the same color now. Y'all the same race. It's black folks, it's Mexicans, it's white folks. Now y'all need each other to make it home. You know what I mean? So really, at this point, you start understanding now, like, what the fuck is we killing for? You be done killed the nigga on the street who you need to watch your back in the joint.
Yeah, that's
true.
That's a dichotomy with the
like,
street.
Dog, this shit ain't no joke.
No, it's not.
Like, what the fuck is we killing for if we gonna need each other when we both get locked up?
Carrie Walker Jones, she said, when my son was acting up and he finally came to his senses, he said, Mom, I'm sorry. I had you scared of me. I told him I was never afraid of him. I was afraid of what he might have made me do to him. Yeah, I think a lot of times people think, he's scared of me or she's scared of me. For some people, it comes to me being scared of what I might do to your ass, right? Like, I'm not necessarily scared of you. I mean, I've been hit upside my head before, like you're saying, I'd be dog ass. He was scared of me whooping his ass. No, I'm scared of if you beat me down, what I might do next time I see your ass. right?
Yep.
Like now I got to go to Wall Pond, like Kamar said. Now I'm in the joint. You could have been somebody to help me get home, but I left your ass land where I seen you at. So it's just me realizing the type of person that I am, and we all, you know who you are, right? Like you know what some of your capabilities, but sometimes if you get pushed too far, some shit come out you didn't know was there. You'd be like, it's like if you've ever had a fight with somebody or a group of people and you went to fighting like you was absolutely out of your mind, and afterwards somebody seen that shit and said, man, your ass went crazy. And you start thinking to yourself, hey man, that shit just came out. I didn't know that was gonna happen. It just came out. I've had a fight like that where the person who was there, like, man, you turn into the Incredible Hulk. Like, what the fuck was that about? Because you don't get to see that every day. So
I saw some motherfuckers. My guy told me the same shit. I got jumped by these two motherfuckers because they didn't like. I had my hat broke a certain way. I wasn't even in no gang. I wasn't paying no attention to it. But they was gangster disciples. But all my cousins is GDs. But I had my shit to the left or whatever. And I had friends that was vice lords. So them niggas tried to jump me. And that didn't end well for them niggas. You know what I'm saying? I've been in those situations too. That's why I just be like, man, you never know what can happen. And unfortunately, because of like members of my family, like you said, motherfuckers want to be tough or whatever. The two niggas that jumped me ended up getting into it with a family member of mine and another brother. And those two dudes subsequently ended up getting killed. And that's why that shit is dumb. And then for years, niggas thought that I had something to do with it. Y'all know how that go. I literally, dude, it was a coincidence. They had just got into it with my cousins that was way deeper into the street than I was at that time because I was so young. And they ended up getting killed. So niggas acted like I had something to do with it when that wasn't the case. So yeah, you got to watch your moves, man. Y'all ain't lying about that shit, dog. Yeah, it ain't worth it, man. Never.
Earl said he don't want to eat jail food, but he will if he has to.
It's the little things, LMA.
He said he will if he had to. Give him some neutral loaf, man.
He said neutral loaf.
Sonya Thrower, how you doing? She said, hello, guys. Kerry Walker Jones said, fight or flight is a motherfucker.
Yes. Yeah.
This is Sonya Thrower. She said, I was like that back in my days up there in Milwaukee. Yeah, I mean, you tend to take on your environment in Rome, right? So,
yes.
I don't know about nobody else, but I know when we grew up, what we did as youngsters was fight. That's what we did. We fought each other. The dude down the street, dude on the next block.
Cousin
had a certain way. Your cousin, me and my brother used to get it on. We moved furniture. My mother put my brother in the basement. And and we had to have separate rooms because me and him, the holes in the wall, we throwing them like we get tied up, man. So
nigga.
Right. Listen, I grew up fighting, man. That's what we did. Like you anywhere you go, somebody gonna try to test you. Like it's like, man, what's happening? Hey, what you mean, nigga? What's happening? It's just always round the clock, man. And like I said, when my cousins from Chicago would come up here, or specifically my cousins from Detroit, when they would come to Milwaukee, you already knew it's going down.
Sir.
Got to fight. Like, and so my cousins up here that lived up here had a reputation for, they get your ass in their basement and put on some music and give you some roller skates. And as soon as you put them skates on, they turn the lights off and whoop your ass. So my cousins from Detroit used to always be amazed, like, yo, how come every time you go over there, you got to fight all four of these dudes? So it's like, yeah, that's the norm in our family.
He said all four of these dudes.
Everybody knew, man. All four of them. You got to fight them, man. You go over there, you fight, man. So that's what we did growing up. In my neighborhood, that's what you did. You had to fight. But
it makes you better, dude. And I honestly, like at the time, I used to hate my cousins because they was all older than me. Dude, it sounds crazy, but I was like 5-6 years old, and they would whoop my ass. Not trying to hurt me. Don't get me wrong. They was never trying to hurt me, but they whooped my ass. Like my cousin, he was like 11 years old, and he would just do shit to be like, you didn't have your hand up, slap the shit out of me, bro. And I'm like, damn. And it's funny, as we got older, I ended up my same cousin, because he did box a little bit, and we sparred like in '94, dude. It came because he gave me a big hug and he was like, man, you learn. Because I didn't get my ass whooped by no more of my cousins after that. Like every one of them ended up they couldn't get.
Yeah, I had an older brother. So if you had an older brother, it was automatic.
Man, my brother Trell, man, he used to whoop my ass. I was afraid of dude, and I wasn't afraid of too much. When I was younger, I was afraid of everything. You know, I was a punk when I was little, so that's why they was whooping my ass like that. Long story short, but the older brother, man, they used to whoop my ass, bro.
We even had bunk beds. It's funny. We had bunk beds in our room. And I would be sitting. I had a top bunk, so I'd be sitting.
Throw your ass off of it.
He was on the bottom bunk, and if I had my legs hanging down, like sitting there watching TV, he snatched me off the top bunk
all the time, and that shit hurt, bro. It hurt.
He just like you say, I'm sitting on the bed playing Nintendo.
He minding your business too.
Got my back to the door. He gonna kidney punch me. Boom,
boom.
I'm on the floor, balled up in the knot. So
go piss.
If you had a big brother, I think you're used to that. Yeah. Kerry Walker Jones said daily. Yeah, man. You know, you tend to learn these skills growing up, man. But you know, my brother was a big dude too, very, very big. When he was growing up, he was a big dude, and so he was probably about 3 times my size. So,
oh shit, you wasn't winning that.
Nah, I very seldom did but I was always willing to give it a try. And so, as a result, if you was my size, or you know. Yeah, and we fight. That's why I'm in 3rd grade. You know, I'm fighting 6th and 7th graders because I'm. Oh, come on, man. We get the stories are archived. If you ask people who I grew up with, man, this nigga used to fight everybody
because it was for your fucking survival. When you at the crib, you in your mind, in your little young mind, you think bear meat gonna kill your ass. He's not going to. He wasn't trying to, but he was whooping your ass though. But when you went to school, that was the same mentality. The other kid is just fucking with you. Kevin is trying to survive to get home because he thinks he's gonna die. That mentality, and that's why you was probably whooping people ass.
More importantly, I think it comes down to me, especially as a youngster, is having a real slick mouth. My brother wasn't having it, so he's big brother. He won't tell me what to do, and I was quick to tell him to shut your ass up talking to me. And so, it was. And I would throw the first punch on a lot of that time. A lot of them times I'd be the first one. Like, dude, man, I ain't scared of you. And my brother, you better go. Boom! I done took him, just fired him in his eyes. So now he gotta in front of his friends. They're like, dude, your little brother just fired on you.
He said, your little brother just stuck you, dog. What you gonna do, bear me?
Look, Ken basically like. It's like, look, Kev, you bad as hell, man. I used to be like, yeah, I thought I was. So, he dotted me. He dotted me one time. He gave me the Mitch Blood Green one time.
No, you got that's funny. You got to do it sometimes. My little cousin Chuck, for some reason, he thought we playing pool. I'm beating him. We play 2K. I'm beating him, and he was like what you said. He was just talking slick to me the whole time. And I'm like, yo, Chuck, calm down, bro. Whatever. He's like, man, I'll fuck you up, Ian. I was like, I'm not going to hit you because I love you. And we like 5-6 years apart. But if you come over here, I'm going to put you to sleep. He came over and I put him to sleep. And it's funny because his dad was sitting there watching. Like, I told your dumb ass not to fuck with your older cousin. That's what your ass get.
Kerry Walker said you had to fight the block or the whole family. Well, we got so advanced in my neighborhood that boxing gloves came out. So it's going to be a thing where, put the gloves on. Let's go in the alley. Put the gloves on. So brothers usually put the gloves on, man, and go, be honest, you washing your dog again, man? What's going on, man?
Y'all can hear me? I thought I had you on mute.
No. We can hear you like a motherfucker.
No, I was nigga, walking through this motherfucker, then I was sitting up here thinking, because I got a what you call this, like, I got these licenses and these permits to operate in the city of Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? Because I got that promotion. You know what I'm saying? I'm a E1 at my job now. So I'm like, damn, I'm just sitting back, thinking of shit. I gotta send off for that shit to pay for it. And the killing part about it is expired next month. And expire 5/1/26. So that's next month, and it's coming up.
Did you get mad and start breaking shit up? I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to make a connection here. I don't know.
I just got up and walked and turned the light on. That's it.
Okay.
I got to find the paperwork. So man, I'm so fucking tired of mail coming to my house.
So I also, y'all, I told y'all I live in the podverse. I'm always watching what's going on, what's being said in the media. And I used to be big on watching the God Pod with Lord Jamar from the Brand Nubians. I was a big Brand Nubians supporter back in the days. I always thought Jamar was pretty tight as a rapper. But he came out with a show on YouTube and he said, and I seen actually, what's the brother name who puts everybody's shit in the People's News Network? I think his name is Brandon Jacobs. I think that's his name. He put this episode in the People's News Network and said it's hip hop on his deathbed. And so he was discussing on there why rap music and hip hop is not where it was and that it is a dying culture. He said he don't think it's on his deathbed, but it's certainly moving towards dying out. And so I thought about, like, you know, what's the biggest cultural phenomena of our lives as Gen Xers, and you would have to say that it's hip hop. So you know, I thought about all of the points that he made in terms of rap music kind of being a lost art form, and then I started to look at what's going on in hip hop, you know, today, and some of the mentality and some of the norms that have become acceptable now that weren't back in the days, in terms of, you know, hip hop, in terms of like imitation, what we would refer to as biting. Now everybody sounds the same, right? Same musically, lyrically, everybody sounds the same. People look.
Homosexuality, that was a huge no-no when we were younger. Yeah, that's
certainly certainly a reduction in masculinity.
Which is a bad, horrific thing, by the way.
But that's more of a reflection of society at large. I don't know if that's something we just gonna pin on hip hop.
No.
But he was saying that there's actually people who speak to this topic saying, well, who destroyed it? And so there's speech that the West Coast destroyed it.
I was just about to say that.
1993, after 1993, I was listening to that King Son referring to this. You know who King Son is? He's an old school rapper. He was saying after 1993, everything became based on disrespect. Rap did get very aggressive at one point.
Yeah.
And the higher the level of aggression, the more celebrated it was. The proof is in the pudding that right now, if you open a hip hop club where you play primarily hip hop or any kind of venue, you're going to have to deal with violence.
And you have a different level of insurance that you have to pay too.
But I say it ain't just hip hop. Any people in general, like you can have a rock club, and let's not act like country western bars don't have drunk rednecks fighting and shit. It's just all the
time, bro. It happens out here all the time.
You get a hip hop clubs here, a bad kind of thing. But for years and years and years, Brady Street and even now with Water Street, the increased violence here, people talking about it. But for years on Brady Street, drunk college students was down there showing their ass. White boys, fist fighting, doing all kinds of wild shit. But it wasn't promoted as much as, you know, what we do when we go to our clubs or our venues. And I'm not making no excuse for the senseless violence that is perpetuated by some individuals who go out to bars. I never understood you going out when you mad. Like, why are you in the club mad? Like, why did you come out if you pissed?
That's how you end up in jail.
You're supposed to go out to have a good time. Like, and you see some dudes who come in there mad. They bumping into people. They want to punk, man. I can't even count on my hands how many times I've seen somebody get jumped in a club by a group of dudes who came in there and that was just on one from the time they got in there. And, you know, a lot of times it ends up in, you know, what happens after this motherfucker close. Hurry up and get to the car, right? Like, it's going to be gunplay.
Horrible.
But so and rap music and hip hop, if you talk about it being connected so closely to the streets are violent. Our community is violent. Our people are violent. So I don't know how we would expect this music, this art form, to never take on, you know, the persona of the community that it comes from. I don't think hip hop is on its deathbed, but I think it's bought and sold. I do think it's compromised. I think it has to get back to its essence. And it has to go back to being, because music is supposed to be like happy, right? You're supposed to party. You're supposed to have a good time. It's just like R&B. I was hearing Keith Sweat saying that R&B artists ruined R&B because they want to curse on the songs and say all kinds of sexual lyrics. And he's like, they want to treat R&B like rap records. So
I've been saying that.
If you listen to old school R&B and soul music, what made it so great was that, yeah, they might have been talking about something sexual, but it was a lot of innuendo involved. Like I was listening at Mtume, Juicy Fruit last night, and I was just tripping off of some of the lyrics are heavily sexual, but it's innuendo.
The
and like,
name of the song itself.
If you don't know, you don't. As a kid, we listened to that music and just danced.
The name of the song itself, Juicy Fruit. What you think they're talking about?
I didn't know what she was talking about when she said, "I'll be your lollipop."
Yeah, they was creative. They was creative with it back then. And then the song was talking about love. You know what I mean? Shout out to Rodney Poe. You know what I mean? Shout out to Rodney Poe. He got a new album, Love, Sweat, and Tears. And that album it's like the old school blueprint. You know what I mean? He talking about love and all that.
I went to school with him, man. That's a cool dude.
We was talking, you had mentioned about how like a lot of the R&B singers then switched up now where they different. They sing about different shit and it's more sexual. You know what I'm saying? And you definitely right about that. But I think we seen it happen to hip hop, right? That's what the record labels start pushing. So then, of course, that's what people are gonna start making if that's what the record label's looking for. And I think that's how it got to where it is.
But also you got to understand, once again, everything ain't for everybody. I'm a blue type of individual. I don't mind some profanity. I don't mind. Like listen. You can.
Millie Jackson.
I can't stand no. I did not. And this is just one of the things. When I was a youngster, I absolutely was disgusted by Boys to Men and Shy and a lot of music that I thought was overly simpish, just really sappy, soft. And to this day, I don't like no syrupy ass, begging ass, soft ass man on no song. I'm not a fan of that. Like I appreciate a good love song like anybody else, but I don't think you should have to. I don't want to hear men being feminine, right? Like just to appease to a woman. Like you don't have to lose your nuts. So
that Tank song.
I think that everything has its place and every genre has its audience, right? Like I don't like Boys to Men, but I like Al Green. I love to listen to Al Green. And some people say, well, how can you say Al Green was? But if you listen to his lyrics, they were deep lyrics, and they were deep lyrics about love and about a man's love for a woman without him compromising. Step on my head and kick me in my ass and all this.
And he didn't sound like a sucker when he was singing it. He didn't say, "I'll pay your rent."
Well, no, that's your man's. That's your man's baby face, right? Like,
yeah, that's that simp culture. You ain't lying about that shit. But I was gonna say, did your parents listen to Millie Jackson?
No, that was after my parents was older. That was my cousins introduced me to Millie Jackson.
Yeah, and she was cursing on songs too. So what I'm saying. So it was a little different. Go out and get some and all that kind of shit. So
she was filthy. Millie Jackson was filthy, man.
Yeah, but that's where I'm saying she was before all these motherfuckers doing it. So I think they kind of chimed in off of what she was doing a little bit. So yeah.
Well, it's one of those things where Tupac said, like we the first ones to bomb and cuss. Like I think everything we learned from our parents and our forefathers, and we learned how to curse and fight and raise hell and drink and go out and womanize. We learned that from the generation that came before us. So, it's just kids saying, I can't wait till I get grown. And when you get grown, you do what you thought grown people was doing.
I was going to say, bro, in retrospect, I just wish Hit 'Em Up would have never came out. Speaking of Tupac, I just wish that would have that song that changed the trajectory of this songs. It really did, because wasn't nobody coming like that. That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. That's the first line. And dude actually popped his wife.
Yeah, but No Vaseline came before that. And I'll tell you something else. When I talk to real hip hop dudes and we talk about East versus
West,
that's
the best diss song ever, but it wasn't on that level, man.
And we talk about beef. There was Tim Dog fuck Compton.
That was horrible.
He said a bunch of shit, and nobody from New York ever said a damn thing about it. And he dissed the whole West Coast.
Yeah,
and he
he
said
did.
some disrespectful shit. So when we start talking about East versus West, and you want to blame Tupac and you want to blame the West Coast and all this, it's like, no, not if you don't really understand the music and where it comes from. Like you don't. I remember
you saw the trajectory. You saw it going there, especially after he got shot.
I
And thought the
remember
niggas had something to do
NWA.
with it.
I remember before Cube made No Vaseline, NWA had a song. I think it was Real Niggas, and at the end, MC Ren said, "When we see you, nigga, we gonna cut your hair off and fuck you with a broomstick."
Yeah, dog. That was awful, dog.
It's crazy. Kerry Walker Jones says she was the big brother. She said her big brother moved here from Xenia, Ohio when he was 18 and he was soft as hell. Oh my God. Christian Harris, what it do? What it do? He said intellectual hip hop is booming. Is it? I don't hear it. I don't hear it a lot. I don't see it marketed.
No, it's
another
not.
Reason, and this is saying shit, first diss song I heard was Cool Mo D and LL Cool J.
Mo D, my
guy. A lot of people
are
saying because of what happened between Kendrick Lamar and Drake backed up off the industry, and so it caused a reduction in the output, and that's why you seen this long period last year where there was no rap in the top 10, and so people are saying, well, y'all pissed Drake off, and he was producing most of the hit music that was coming out, whether he was on somebody else's song or whether it was him. I don't know about that. I think Drake had one of the longest and most successful runs
ever.
And I think it was time for it to end. I really do. I think, and I feel like the way he was going at Kendrick Lamar, he deserved what he got back.
He was really going at Kendrick Lamar, and that's why when he played Victim, I was pissed. I'm like, bro, you've been talking shit about this guy for a while now, and he was already the better rapper. And I mean, I know y'all. I don't know everybody's taste, so I don't want to just assume, but I'm gonna assume that y'all probably think bar for bar, Kendrick is a better rapper. He's a better lyricist. So when I heard that they had beef for the first time, my sister told me that. I thought it was a joke. I'm like, why would Drake go after Kendrick? That's not fair. And then she played that song, dun, 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 and I was like, oh.
Yeah, I think what he didn't know is really like that's West Coast culture too.
Yeah, bro.
Battle rap, like to get at a motherfucker, that's their culture. You know what I'm saying?
And he tied to the Bloods by default. Andy from Compton, like he had way too much ammunition, as far as on the street level. And far as the business level, he on Aftermath.
Well, and also, Kendrick, he put another aspect into it.
He can rap
aspect into it. You know what I mean? Like, are you really from the hood type of aspect?
Yeah. He said he got offended when Drake said the word nigga. I fell out of my chair when I first heard that bar. I said, oh, he killing him right now.
They said
Drake is black.
They said they would get at you because they wanted your girl. I don't know what point he's referencing. Kerry Walker Jones said again, the Eagles Club got ambulances sitting out front and always have. It's silly to believe white people don't act a fool. As far as hit, I want to go back because as far as hit 'em up goes,
yeah,
I can't say that I wish Tupac hadn't made that song because I remember when it came out, I was a cheerleader for the foolishness, and I
was too. That's what I'm saying. I wish it never came out, man.
I'm not gonna say I wish it never came out. And when it comes to East Coast, West Coast, Tupac didn't die as a result of the East Coast, West Coast.
No, that's some blood and Crip shit.
So he got killed over some street shit.
Yeah,
we don't really know who had Biggie killed. There's an assumption that is a result of that, but. Hip hop is a contact sport, so I don't feel like, I don't feel like he shouldn't have made it because
anybody can get it in hip hop.
DJ Quick had a song called "Dollars and Cents" that was way more disrespectful than "Hit 'Em Up." To as far as man to man goes, or what he said to MC8.
EIHT, you shouldn't continue. You left out the G
as a hip hop fan, and especially for MC8, because Compton Most Wanted was one of my faves back in the day.
Yeah. I love them dudes.
And Quick is still, to me, one of the greatest to ever do it. But when I hear him say, "I never had my pee sucked by a man before," and he goes into that, nowadays I hear that, I'm like, Quick, you shouldn't have said that. That is just the most disrespectful thing. Right before I shoot some piss in your face, it's like
Yeah.
It's too much. It's too much. So, I can't say Tupac changed. I think diss songs are diss songs. It's always been
Well,
vicious
him.
words.
The reason I say that is because Tupac is my all time favorite rapper. Not that he the best rapper ever, but he's my all time favorite. So when he first came out of jail, his level of popularity, his skill set, and the label he was on, the Machine, is just, man, him putting that out there. It just, it was just, man, it was a typhoon. The reason I say I wish he didn't put it out there, because I know before he died, he didn't want Against All Odds to come out, where he dissed Nas and them on there, and he dissed, all them street niggas, them real street niggas he dissed on there. He didn't want that to come out. So it didn't ruin his legacy or no shit. That's not what I mean. It's just when he was before he died, he was trying to squash a lot of that shit with them.
I wish he hadn't never ran over there and punched Orlando. That's what I wish. I wish he had stayed out of that. I wish he had stayed out of that fight at the MGM.
Yeah, I wish he had stayed out of that battle.
I wish he would have let that ride. That's the only thing I can't. It ain't about no music.
And that was about Homeboy's chain too. The other nigga that he just whispered in his ear, and they was like, "Man, we finna fly off the handle on this nigga." I'm like thinking, no. Every time I see the story, I'm like, no, Pac, no. But yeah, that's sad, man.
In hip hop, anybody can get it. You know what I'm saying? True. It started out battle rapping.
Soldier Slim,
MCs going against each other. That's how it started. You know what I mean? And then it just got to a point where it's like, I'm gonna embarrass you.
Yeah.
I'm better than you. I'm the best. Like all MCs say they the best. And like, okay, somebody like, no, you ain't, I am. And now you got a battle. You know what I mean? And that's pretty much what I feel like it is.
The nature of it, yeah.
You look at and then with Tupac, I think the difference is Tupac brought more street aspect to it.
He really did, bro. And then he got down with blood.
Like Tupac coming, he really brought the street with him when he came and got heavy into the music with Death Row. You know? Yeah. He talking about fucking your bitch and shit, and you know what I'm saying? That's street nigga shit.
Dude, listen to I got a whole Best of West in my car, and I'm listening to Blasphemy. He said, "Get your cash on, nigga, MOB," but he wasn't saying money over bitches or whatever. He really meant member of Bloods. That's what he was talking about.
What he was talking about is the Mob Pyrus from Compton.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he talking about that member of Bloods, the Mob Pyrus. That's what MOB mean. That's why it's like, oh my God, he was gangbanging and stuff. Man, it was so sad to watch that shit. Like later after he died, because then I don't understand the LA gang culture. You know what I'm saying? But now I do, because I've read up on it a lot. I'm like, oh man, he was setting himself up for failure. He didn't even know it. Like, yeah, man, it's horrible.
Ewok says, go to my page. It's a Law and Order type rap skit. The detective's trying to figure out.
Hey, look, that was part of New York Parliament during the season.
Oh yeah.
He said it's dope. Ace says, shit, that first Keith Sweat album was ultimate getting in record. Was the ultimate getting it in record. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Oh, okay. Okay. Go ahead. I'm gonna chime in on in a second.
I was young when that came out, so I wasn't really getting nothing in. It was a dope ass album. I mean, it was good R&B, but I might have been 11 years old. I don't think I was. It wasn't too much getting nothing in. Kerry Walker Jones is saying yes. Auntie Millie. A says Nas murdered Jay-Z on Ether. He called a brother a Tybo ho. And the game went at 50 with It's a Million. Yeah, It's a Million diss songs. I don't,
hold on. But to kind of the whole Jay-Z thing, Jay miscalculated because Nas wasn't in his right mind. And I love Jay-Z more than I love Nas. But dude, mom had just died. His mind wasn't even right, bro. But then when he got his mind right, he wrote Ether was bad. But it took him 3 disses to come back at Jay. But that was good. Ether kind of solidified it. And
I just think sometimes when you get up and you get to feeling yourself, sometimes, and that happens with anybody when they get a little.
That happened with Nas and Jay-Z, both of them.
When you
get momentum built up and they feel like I'm the shit, can't nobody touch me, and then you feel like somebody's beneath you. You say something and then that person surprises you and come back and get at your ass. I think that's what happened with Ether.
Nas is on the Mount Rushmore. He's one of the all-time greats. I saw that coming. Yeah, I saw that coming. Yeah.
I remember they was going back and forth though.
Yeah, you know me too. That's why I saw Ether coming.
Like it wasn't like Nas was just kept trying, you know what I mean? It was just that they was like his rebuttals, you know what I mean? All right, and yeah, that's hip hop, man. You know what I'm saying? That's hip hop,
and it's actually a healthy part of hip hop.
And see, and the thing about hip hop, like it was an aspect about real life too.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I'm gonna talk about some dumbass shit that you did in real life. You know what I mean? Like Ice Cube talked about no Vaseline. Like I told you, niggas, the white boy was fucking you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like that's the jugular. That's the jugular you looking for in hip hop because, like I say, it's a real life aspect to it.
The thing, though, what made No Vaseline as maniacal as it was, because I think No Vaseline is one of the top 5 best diss songs ever. It's better than Hit 'Em Up because, I mean, he went after a whole crew. But the thing about Ice Cube, yeah, to me, I'm just saying Ice Cube, far as at the time where he was.
I don't think it's better, but yeah, go ahead.
But the thing about Cube, he literally, the beginning, remember when they was on Overskiven, you know, Niggas for Life album, when they were just, they got a call-in number and everybody was clowning Ice Cube. And then when he reversed it, if you fast forward, it reminds me of Eminem and 8 Mile. Remember when he talked about everything before they were going to say it about him, and Cube flipped it. Then he went into their business and their bank accounts and all. I mean, not all of it was true, obviously, but it was good. It was cold because Cube was so cold at the time. No Vaseline in my top 5 ever, man. That was a great.
I think it's funny that people say, "Well, he went at a whole crew." Cube went at a whole crew.
He did.
Pac took on a whole coast. Took on a whole coast.
No, he did not go after a coast. That was about Big.
That was about Big. Could get it. Mobb Deep could get it. The whole
he said,
no, he went after all the
the whole Junior Mafia and everybody they fuck with can get it.
And he says specifically, and any of you rappers from New York,
that want to be down with them, fuck you too. He didn't say fuck the East Coast. Because I've watched too many interviews where he said he wasn't talking about the
if you're going to name, and
even Hit 'Em Up,
the majority of the popular rappers on the East Coast, you're taking on a whole coast.
But he was cool with all them other niggas,
even though. Hit 'Em Up, he talked about different rappers. That wasn't just about Biggie.
Once again, as you said,
I'm talking about primarily it was just about Biggie. But he literally, and Pac said it, he was like, I told y'all niggas it was just about Biggie, but fuck this, fuck you, and fuck, you know, he went there. But he wasn't like, fuck every East Coast rapper.
So once again, the argument that Cube went against a whole crew is muted because Pac goes after the entire Bad Boy. He went after a whole label.
Yeah, he did. That's fair. That's a very fair argument. Yeah,
he says Chino XL. He says Mobb Deep.
Too.
He says this to all these people. So he went after more than just a crew. So for that reason, I think hip hop. I mean, Hit 'Em Up is a better song.
Bad Boy was running the West Coast back then.
Running the music industry. You know what I'm saying?
I got
at the machine.
I'll chime in a little more to kind of play devil's advocate, right? Did you hear the original Hit 'Em Up though? Apparently Daz had lost the DAT or something. He didn't have it at the time. It was way worse. Like I heard the verse where he really went in on Jay-Z and them. He knew Jay-Z would be popular. That's why I always say Pac was like a psychic before, because Jay-Z was not popular like that. I didn't even know what the fuck Jay-Z was.
Well,
and Jay-Z was just getting there.
Well, hold on. But see, if you, once again, you got to know the music and you have to know the times. Reasonable Doubt was released in 1996.
Yeah.
And the first video for Reasonable Doubt was Dead Presidents.
Yeah.
In the video for Dead Presidents, Biggie is in the video and Dame Dash and Jay-Z and all these guys are sitting around playing Monopoly with the dice.
Yeah.
And they send shots at the West Coast right then and there. That's why Tupac was dissing Jay-Z.
Oh, of course. But I'm saying, though, if Jay-Z was insignificant, even if he was with Biggie and them, he wouldn't have mentioned Jay-Z. He knew Jay-Z was good because I was listening to that Dead President.
He was getting a lot of respect. He was getting a lot of respect on the East Coast.
It's funny though, because I heard Jay tried to do a show in Cali, and he apparently got shut down. And I heard that from multiple sources. During that time, he tried to go and do a show in Cali, and they was like, "Nigga, is you crazy?" Apparently, he didn't even leave the hotel room, which is smart on his part. I wouldn't have left either. Shit.
Erica Hunt, what it do? She said, "Hey, Outlaws, I missed the whole show. We're wrapping it up, Erica, but welcome to the show." Ace says, who really won the battle between
God.
LL Cool J and Cannabis?
L.
Cannabis.
L.
Jack
the Ripper Strikes Back to me is better. No, Cannabis was better lyrically, but I give it to L. L he's so good at battling.
How about
Don't you ever open up your mouth and let it kiss me?
I look at that one like this, like most like I look at most battles. You look at the careers. Who career ended after the battle.
It was a good one. That was a good one.
Yeah, it probably was. But who career ended?
It was good. That was a good battle.
Now the only battle I could think of where it really didn't go like that was the Jay-Z and Nas. Both of them was still hot afterward.
They both on the Mount Rushmore too, dog. Like those are both. Like,
both of them still stayed. Both of them were still on top of the game.
And they friends and shit.
And their careers didn't end. But now most of these battles that we catch,
they bad.
The loser career is pretty much over.
Ja Rule.
Yeah, but once again, people give 50 Cent too much credit. The Fed shut down Murder Inc. 50 Cent didn't. The conspiracy, charges, the RICO charges shut them down. It didn't have anything.
50 music, but like, and if you look at it as a battle though, like, you know what I mean?
Their music was hot though, Kev. Yeah, Aftermath was on one.
But yeah, the Feds shut Murder Inc. down.
Oh yeah. Irvin them didn't stand a chance against the
Feds. I don't think too much. I don't think they would have wound up saying too much back though, because they never really did.
Well, there were some comebacks. There was the New York. I got 100 guns, 100 clips.
They had some great stuff.
There was some stuff he wanted to do that after a while, when you in a federal indictment and you get your assets seized, money, equipment, studio, everything. Ain't nothing.
Ain't too much you could do about that.
Nothing. But he did. But to Irv Gotti's credit, they did beat the case. They did beat the Feds.
Yeah, they did, because that shit wasn't drug money like that, and that's why the Feds fucked up for that. They wasn't bought drugs.
Hey, but then shit, he should have been able to get back.
The thing is, though, man. I mean, we obviously gonna agree to disagree, and I just want to say a few names.
Look, I'm saying if you really that nigga, like I said, like you got Jay-Z and Nas, both of them still stayed on top of the game. You know, like, I think if you still that nigga, okay, we beat the case now. Now I can get back to the music. Ja Rule was making a whole bunch of boyfriend, girlfriend music any motherfucking way.
And he made his mistake, and this is where Ja Rule made his mistake. He tried to do what 50 does. He should have just kept doing what Ja Rule does. You know what I mean? And he would have been better off.
I think 50 starts singing and shit after.
He copied Ja Rule.
Exactly. That's kind of my point.
He even talked about him for doing it.
To that statement, though, Kamar, I think one of the reasons for that is neither Ja Rule or Cannabis was Nas. We got to think about the impact that Nas.
And that's why I said
Nas is Nas, yeah.
And that's why I said, if you that nigga, okay, now you done beat the case.
You're right.
You're able to get back in the game.
I just like, once again, I think it comes from him not being as solid a contributor as Nas is. He's not, you know, it's like
he ain't that nigga.
Like Mike Tyson,
Ja Rule was a good rapper.
Mike Tyson was never the same. Mike Tyson was never the same after Buster Douglas knocked him out, right? Like, so, you know, he wasn't Muhammad Ali.
We should do a segment on that. We should do a segment on Mike Tyson
after Frazier knocked him out, but Tyson was no Ali, right? So it's just the same kind of comparison where you know,
we talking about music though, man. We ain't talking about getting punched in the head.
No, I said it's a comparison. So it's the same kind of comparison of you up here and then you get knocked down. How do you come back? Like,
so that's why I said. Well, the thing is, we was making the same point. That's why I said, if you that nigga, you know what I mean. Nas is that nigga. Jay-Z, he was that nigga enough to stay in the game. You know what I mean?
Which is shocking because Ether was fucked up.
Ja Rule wasn't.
Right. So it's a similar metaphor.
Yeah, that's why I said we saying the same thing. We argue the same point.
Sure.
It's not even an argument. It's really just opinions. It's just, and like I said,
I don't know.
Like I said, Tyson just got beat up by Jake Paul. Like who would have ever predicted that years ago that Tyson would get beat up by Jake Paul, and you see it look like he's pulling punches. It's like that's not. And then I go back and look at young Tyson footage, and it's like, damn, nobody's ever gonna beat this dude.
You look
it's
at the same training.
Thing, same thing with Nas. Like if you go listen to Illmatic, and you hear that, and then go listen to Ja Rule's first album, it's not even close, right? It's not even comparable.
It's stratospheres and universes and galaxies away from each other. And you're absolutely right about that. Yeah, and what's funny is
commercial, man.
50 made his mark on them first two albums. Like with Get Rich, well, not first two, his second and his third. With Get Rich or Die Trying in the Massacre, his trajectory because of who he was with really helped him. Because if you listen to his shit before he's with Aftermath, it was good. You know what I mean? It was good. It was decent. It was whatever. But you with Eminem, you with Dr. Dre, and on top of it, then you got the production, and it was a perfect storm, dude. Ja Rule, it was only Ja Rule. Fat Joe really wasn't trying to get involved at first because Fat Joe is a real life gangster. So he was just doing what he was doing, making a little money, trying to produce Pun. But then he got involved because he gave Ja Rule the New York song, because that wasn't even Ja's shit. That was Joe's shit. So he gifted him that.
In the news right now because he just stated, and this is funny because I think we've said this on here before.
What?
He said, if you are a man and you sleep with a transgender man, you're gay.
Okay.
And like some people are upset about this shit. But now, if you do it accidentally, right? Okay. Like, so, because, the guy from Family Matters, who used to play Eddie Winslow.
Oh, yeah. His name. Demarius McCray or something? Demarius McCray?
Yeah. He's with the reality trainee, Sydney Starr. Like, he's in a relationship with her. I'm hearing that they even have, like, OnlyFans shit out there. Oh, and so you know that this is a man, right? Now, we talking maybe post-op, or maybe this person is hiding their pieces. I feel like if you, and I think that's the issue most men have when they find out later that they slept with a transgender person, is that you just made me gay. You didn't give me a chance. You didn't give me an opportunity to decide for myself. I feel like if you're continuously sleeping with a transgender male, you are gay. I don't think that's controversial to say, and I don't think that's inaccurate. I think you are gay. I would happen, and I don't agree with 50 on a lot of shit, but I agree on that. I think if you a man, you out here sleeping with transgenders, yeah, you're gay.
In the words of Andrew Dice Clay, you either suck dick or you don't. Okay. You're gay. What the fuck? What? That's not even a discuss. That's not even a discussion. Oh my god, that's a discussion now.
I mean, they come on, in a little hot water right now. You know not to mess with them alphabet people.
Come on, man.
It's in a little hot water right now.
You got to be kidding me. So, and this is the manipulation of media, bro. If a person has a penis and you have a penis and you do something with that person, that is homosexual activity by definition. There is no. Oh well, he looked at himself as a she and he looked at himself as a he. No. That's ridiculous.
Well, it's all in the name. So homo means same, hetero means different.
There you go.
If you say, am I homosexual? Or have you ever had sex with a person of the same gender? Yes. Then yes, you're a homo. Yes, you have. So I don't it's not a debate for me. I just think it's funny that nowadays this is ridiculous. Where we are as a country. You see Trump talking about, he asked the white lady, like, do you think transgender men should be in women's sports? And she like, I don't got no opinion on that. Trump was like, oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do. A says Ja Rule was only hot because he was the feature king. He had a bunch of top-notch artists on his shit. Hey, man, he had momentum. He was popping. He was pumping out hits.
He's more substantive than 50. The song Daddy's Little Girl and other songs that he made some more deeper shit, a couple songs, but yeah, it wasn't the same.
Laughing at us. Look, before we go tonight, I want to say this because we had talked about this last week. I touched on it. Nia Long, and I still haven't seen. They said she posed for Playboy, but I haven't seen. I know there was an interview, and I read the interview. I haven't seen any pictures, so I don't know that she posed. But the controversial thing is that she says she enjoys, dealing with younger men, and she has those men. If they're gonna have any kind of sexual contact, they have to sign an NDA. And so there are a lot of women who agree with this, that this should be the norm for men to have to sign NDAs if they're going to, it's going to be a one night stand or just like a random thing, because it protects them and helps them maintain their anonymity. And I was thinking, that's bogus. And me, just thinking about me being a young man, which I'm not anymore, and I'm not out here or like that, but I wouldn't sign an NDA. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I was a young man and Nia Long wanted to take me home, I wouldn't sign an NDA. I'd like, why do you want me to sign an NDA? Like, I don't understand why that's cool. But there's a lot of women who say, no, that's what she should be doing because she's a celebrity. Well, she ain't that big a celebrity. Like who used to say this on here? If you're going to do something and you're ashamed of what you're doing, you probably shouldn't do it.
No.
Shouldn't do it.
Common sense, man.
Right. So if she wants to go out and be promiscuous and sow her oats a little bit, hey, go ahead. Go ahead. Like I think we live in a society now where that double standard is kind of torn down, where women are allowed to go out and be as aggressive in that realm as men are. But if you're gonna do it, then do it unashamedly. Do it unapologetically. Say, no, this is me. This is what I'm doing. Don't be so regretful and shame of what you're doing that you want to hide it and bury it. I just think that the principle of that is maybe you shouldn't be doing it then. If you feel like you shouldn't do it, if you feel like this is wrong, I shouldn't do this, then you shouldn't do it, right? That's the whole R. Kelly song, my mind is telling me no, but my body's telling me yes. It was a comedian a long time ago who said, my mind's telling me no, and he said, well, don't do it then.
What's funny about that is we saw certain parts of his personality come out early on, and I think we can all agree now there was something going on there.
There was red flags.
It was red flags. Red blankets.
There was some warning signs.
My mind is telling me no.
Earl Henny said, if you are a man who sleeps with a man, you're gay. Kerry Walker said, if you're messing with a broke man, how does an NDA help?
Yes. Exactly.
Like if he violates it, yeah, what you gonna sue him for? Like you're gonna take his pacer? Like I don't know. It's a lot of
pacer, his gremlin.
Crazy shit going on in the world today, man.
Yeah, man.
Just sometimes it's good to just have a place where you can just talk about all the shit with other grown people, without somebody trying to tell you what to say or trying to be overly politically correct. And usually that's what Outlaw Radio is. We will be back Wednesday. I think we've kind of maintained the past month or two and gotten our momentum back up to keeping regular shows coming. So God willing, as long as my health is straight, I'm intend to continue and exploring some opportunities for some expansion. So we'll see what's what. But I want to shout out everybody who calls in, everybody who shares the show. I do appreciate it. I do see it when you share it on my timeline. Very, very humbly grateful for that and the support that you provide for the show. So shout out to you. Big ups to you. Kamar, what you got for us?
Real OGs know sometimes you got to play the fool for the fools that think they fooling you. Now, hold up. Let me slice that up different for you.
I like that.
A smart man can play dumb, but a dumb one can't play smart. Stop me when I'm lying.
You heard what the man said. He ain't talking fast. You listening slow. If you missed it, go back and watch it over, man, and try to dissect what he meant. I will see y'all Wednesday, man. Outlaws for life, man. FBA for life. Peace and love, man. Keep your head on the swivel out here, baby. Be careful. All right, now, y'all. Good night and Godspeed.
Peace.
Peace, y'all. Time for Billy.